Hello everyone, and welcome back to the third last day of CBLOL Academy. We are now deep into it. It is a gauntlet from here on out. Every match is eliminations, and we are in round 3. I guess I should say lower round 3. We just had winners finals yesterday, where Kate Stars Academy punched their ticket to the finals in really solid fashion, actually. I'm quite impressed with how they played. They had really good sense of macro. They, had good early game. Oftentimes, kind of strangled out Pain in the early game. So, huge props to them. Pain now waiting in round 4, I guess, the lower finals. So this is the last match before we start hitting sort of lower finals. Also, I apologize in advance if you hear clicking sounds. So, fun fact about me, I actually use push to talk normally for everything. Like, even when I'm casting, I usually use push to talk. But I am trying to switch away from that. So I'm using like kind of a, not push to mute, but like, yeah. I'll call it like push to mute. So like I'll be toggling my mute on and off, and that might make a clicking sound. So if it bothers you, let me know. I can always switch back to push to talk if need be. But yeah, that's just kind of how I'm experimenting right now with that. So today we've got Loud versus KBM Academy. Loud came in as the 5th seed coming into this. Flamengo was the 4th seed, and KBM was the 2nd seed? 3rd seed, I think, coming. Actually, let me double check that. I think they were 2nd seed actually coming into this. I kept thinking they were 3rd seed because of the way they ended up losing to Pain Gaming Academy in regular season. But yeah, it's a bit of a surprise that KBM fell as early as they did to Fury Academy very, very early on in the bracket, and they'll show that later. Whereas Loud, despite the fact they came into this as 5th seeds, I honestly thought they were 4th seed, and they've been consistently improving. I've actually been very impressed with this Academy roster. To me, they feel like the most Academy of the rosters, if you will. Actually, that's not kind of fair. Kate Stars is also like a huge Academy roster. But yeah, Loud has probably been the fastest improving roster, I think, based on what I've seen. KBM, on the other hand, we are in studio. We were in studio yesterday, but for these two teams, it'll be their first time at the studio this split. But for KBM, you look at this roster, right? Like, hey, a lot of these guys used to play here. Crossciel was playing here a lot last split. Scary had a shot as well. Betal was here the entire last split. The only person I think on this team who does not have experience here in the stadium is probably Diosh in the mid lane. So curious to see if that kind of affects them. Yo, Orbital. Welcome, friend. How you doing, buddy? Busy again today? You had a cast last night, right? For NACC? Oh no, not last night. Today's Friday, so 2 days ago, I guess. Got more work this afternoon. Dang. You're always so busy. I don't know how you find time to do stuff. Oh yeah, so here's the bracket I was talking about. KBM fell real early to Fury Academy, which is a bit of a surprise. And then they kind of dominated their way through. Well, I say dominated. They struggled against Flamengo, understandably. Flamengo's a really good team. Loud, on the other hand, did beat Fury Academy, who did knock KBM down, but KBM has been improving. So I'm very curious to see how much KBM has improved. They were playing No Thoughts Head Empty through most of the regular season. And in the playoffs, they lost to Fury, I felt. Partially because of that. They had weird drafts. They felt like they weren't executing properly on macro. But in the Flamengo series, despite the 3-2 close finish, KBM felt like they were turning on their brains a little bit more. They were doing a bit better macro-wise. Loud, on the other hand, has been solid and constantly improving. The Academy teams still make mistakes. It's not perfect gameplay by any means. But hey, even in the LCS, LEC, we're not seeing perfect gameplay. You had a cast last night too. Oh, for FGC or for casting? Yeah, it's the lower bracket run back, yeah. All the games now are eliminations, so we are playing basically lower bracket all the way up. But yeah, for both these teams, it is tougher. Yesterday's match between Pain and Kate Stars kind of showcased why they're the top two teams. Despite the fact that Pain ended up losing 1-3, they still had really strong team fighting and individual mechanics. And Kate Stars macro is top of the academy right now, bar none. They broadcast for a grassroots LoL group. Okay, very nice. Keeping yourself busy. Love to see it. Yeah, I thought I'd be more free right now, but for the next couple of weeks, I still have a couple of weekend gigs. And then after that, I think I might get a bit of a break, which will be nice. MSI starts May 1st, which is actually really soon, like next week. Yeah, I am probably not going to watch those games live, but I will want to follow up with MSI and how they're doing. because I do think both the regions that I love, CBLOL and NA, LCS they have shots, so kind of see how they do. Costream. Man, I just feel so sad that Costream's like constantly in the academy, man. I still think he's like a good CBLOL level support. Annie used to be CBLOL too, so he's got experience being here in this arena. He's really solid, but to be fair, he also hasn't been like the biggest carry for his team, which is a little bit, I don't know, a little bit odd, I guess, in some ways. But at the same time, like, I'm really happy that Kurti and Sant have been stepping up the side lanes for Loud. They've really been skilling up. Let me check again. It's still English. Okay. If anybody knows how to get them to show Portuguese subtitles, please do let me know. That would be very, very nice if I could figure that out. Hey, Betao. Skuro. Yeah, Skuro Costream in particular, this bot lane for KBM Academy, in my opinion, has been underperforming a little bit compared to the regular season. I think they were doing much better in the regular season. They were stomping almost every single lane. They had a massive gold leads everywhere. Then now it's like, eh. They're okay. Their team fighting is still solid, mechanically, that is. So, yeah, I feel like I keep having to qualify for KBM that like their inside like their macro is like absolutely abysmal by any means. The decision making is still pretty solid. It's just the caliber, it's the expectations, you know. Matchup for me. Okay, wait. I should probably put their rosters here. I think for me, matchup-wise, what's actually going to be really interesting is... Oh, because there's so many good matchups here, actually. Annie and Dioj, like, experience versus, like, up-and-coming rookie. Betao versus Kurti, kind of similar, but in reverse flip. Sant and Bulisha versus Skuro Costream probably is going to be my biggest one to watch, just because I think that's where the carries are going to be popping off from, are these bot lanes, so... Yeah. Azir ban because he's back in and he's unbanned. I hate the fact that he's like pick or ban every time. I also don't feel like KBM need to ban it because Dioj actually plays a really mean Azir. But the fact that they are banning it tells me that they want to prio something else. And likely, I suspect bot lane prio. And so they just don't want to give over Azir. It's not like Dioj can't play it. Yeah, we're still seeing a lot of Vibans because of the AD carry prio. Sant especially I think has been doing a great job recently, so... Yeah, Sant's Varus has definitely been popping off quite a bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if they want to go something immobile like a Varus, and that's why they're trying to remove the Vi here. But considering that KBM gets first pick, I actually think it's a little bit risky to remove the Vi on the red side. We'll see. Oh yeah, the ASOL ban. I think yesterday K-Star showed us a really great counter to ASOL, which was the Kassadin. The Kassadin was very, 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 very effective. I like the idea. It's like, to me, late game Ari, basically, when you pick it into the ASOL. Oh, and there's our Varus ban. As expected. Aspecto que a gente tem de draft já com Azir banido, também era lençol banido. Ele pode cair para conforto indo para uma Thalia, Moriana. Não acho que vai limitar muito o que ele tem. And Kalista. So yeah, a lot of bot lane focus. 3 bans going that way. Kind of expected, I guess, as we were talking about Skuro and Sant. Interestingly enough, Lucian's open. We saw that Lucian had high prio for Pain Gaming. And I still think Lucian's a really strong pick. I don't know if it's that good in Academy though. I feel like Skuro is one of the bot lanes who can absolutely potentially stomp with it if he can regain form from regular season. Oh no, we're going back to lane swaps. Not like this. Yesterday, we had such good games where there was 0 lane swaps coming through. Well, we'll see. I am not inherently against lane swaps. I just think it's a little bit boring to watch. And specifically for Academy teams, to me, lane swaps are a huge test of the coaching staff more than actually the players. Like, did the coaching staff teach the players how to play lane swaps properly? Yeah, they're indexing hard into it. Tristana, Zax, the really good combo. And a lot of times this will be Tristana AD carry more than mid if we are going for lane swaps. Zac can try and hold top for a bit. Likewise, Sion does the same thing. And Volibear is really good as a jungler for enabling the dives. It's not just the level 6, it's the early burst damage he has as well. His level sort of 2, 3, 4 has really high burst. So really good for just kind of diving and punishing solo jumps. And he's got AoE as well, which will do well into the Zac. We're picking Sedge, okay. So this is the interesting thing as well. In terms of AD carries we're seeing in the lane swap meta in Brazil, Trist and Jinx probably have some of the highest prios. For Trist, you're doing this for the demolition and taking down turrets as fast as you humanly can. The Jinx, you're taking to give her a safe laning phase, because when you lane swap, the AD carry often doesn't get pressured, because you have a numbers advantage on that side of the map. So you can already kind of tell what the teams want to do. Personally, I'm a big fan, if you're lane swapping, of the Sion Jinx combo, because it's kind of like the infinite skill late game duo, right? And then you pair it with something like a Sedge or a Volibear strong early game, where you bridge. And even if you do have to go into regular lane matchups, it's not a bad sort of setup for the composition. So I like the idea. Oh wow. Yone ban into Dioch is interesting. That's Dioch's counter for ASOL specifically. So I'm a bit surprised that we're seeing this. I feel like KBM.A would benefit right now more from an AP carry in the mid lane. I guess Zac and Sedge do AP, so... or magical damage, so they might just be thinking, okay, we can run double physical. It's possible. Lulu is an interesting one. She's good at turret taking and kind of bullying out the 2v1 lane. I'm actually a little bit surprised Loud just don't go for the Lulu themselves. I don't feel like they need a tank here. They've already got 2 tanks. I would have preferred like some sort of enchanter support or mage support even. Like it would actually be really disgusting if they run a brand here. I think that'd be absolutely cracked. Kind of cheese. Oh, Zyro would be okay too. I prefer the brand. I think raw output of damage would be nice for Love. Okay, so it's a Trist mid. Interestingly enough, that is not what I expected, and then we're going with this instead. The Zyra Rakan bot lane. Lane swap wise, I actually don't know how that plays out. Let me think about this for KBM.A. Trist gives you mid prio, so you can technically roam out a bit more. But Zyra Rakan is not that good at the lane swap. I actually don't like this for lane swapping. I also don't like Xayah into Jinx. I think Jinx win sets out the matchup very heavily. Isn't Trist mid coming up? It is. Trist mid is definitely coming back huge. He just gives you so much prio. It's good for turret taking. You get split push late. But with this, again, with the whole lane swap thing, like Trist is better as an AD carry if you're looking for lane swap, because her explosive shot allows her to just hyper push. Oh, wait, I forgot to screenshot again. Yeah, I'm trying to like screenshot the stuff. Especially because in the series, like the no, remembering the draft becomes important, and very rarely they show you the previous drafts in terms of feeds. So yeah, there we go. You can harass about 60-70% mid lane champs while keeping yourself safe. Yeah, the all-in as well is incredibly strong from Trist. Like from levels 1 to 3, she does disgusting amounts of damage. Like her level 2 spike especially is absolutely disgusting. So yeah, she's a great champion. Into the Talia, I think the Talia was a great pick from the side of KBM.A. I mean from the side of Loud, pardon me. It does well into Tristana. Like you can wave clear pretty well, so you're not too worried about getting shoved in. Early levels you suffer, of course, and she can stop you from being able to jump into her as well with the Unraveled Earth. Akali ramping up. Yeah, I don't really know why Akali kind of fell out of favor that much. She still has some rough matchups in the mid lane. Again, Talia comes to mind a little bit. I think she does well into the Ahri matchup though. If people want to pick Ahri, I think you can quite safely just go ahead and pick the Akali. The early laning's a bit rough, but I love that. Brazilian fans, man. They're so creative. They always come up with like really uncool things. Oh, I didn't touch on the Janna. But Janna has risen up in priority as a support. She's just really, really strong. The problem with Janna is she's very boring to play. She doesn't have a lot of playmaking potential. Like, yeah, you can do the flash monsoon to knock people back, but you have to burn flash to do it, and almost every engaged support does it better. But just the raw stat she gives with the shield is absolutely huge. Her zone control is not bad either. Aggressive channel style. Yeah, no, I mean, in lane, that's what you do, right? You kind of auto, W, auto. You can do a quick Q knock up as well with the slow. It's kind of hard to dodge. Yeah, that's kind of why you go with her. And in lane swap meta, she's pretty good too because she buffs your AD carry. So you do even more AD damage. So you can shred through turrets faster. Yeah. I'm just... I really don't like this part of KBM.A.'s draft whatsoever. This Xayah Rakan. I just don't think you're going to be able to match the Jinx. And one of the advantages you have in the lane swap usually is that if you stay bot side, you get faster push. That's not going to be the case here. So you don't get the advantage of faster push. Your scaling is not going to be as good as the Jinx. Jinx outranges Xayah. So sure, Xayah can stay safe, but Jinx rockets are sustained DPS. You don't care about Featherstorm anyways. Is that a competitive thing overall, or is that like just a Loki thing? Like I'm genuinely curious because I could see Hail of Blade Janna being very annoying in lane to deal with. But I will also say that if you're calling for the lane swap, it would never be Hail of Blade Janna because you're not looking for quick poke. Like you can take your time poking down the enemy to set up for dive. You don't need Hail Blades. But it's solo queue. Chinese Janna. Okay, so China's doing it again. China's got some very, very interesting builds. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the non-meta builds that are coming out of China are for early game because their players know how to snowball leads better. So like they prioritize the early pressure that they can get and the early advantages, which is huge for them. Whereas I feel like in the West, a lot of times it's more about scaling and team fighting. So we don't do well with those sort of drops, unfortunately. Okay, we are... I think we're trying to set up slow push up top. Okay, Curdy's gonna respond though. And that's one of the things of Xayah Rakan too. Like, you're actually really good at trading and poking people out. But I feel like the dive from this duo is not that amazing. Because Xayah is kind of a burst style champion, which, hey, isn't bad for the dive. But she's not like super high burst like a Tristana would be. And her range is kind of short, so dives can get a bit iffy.
Nível 1 Kurt, ele vai se apresentar. E a gente ainda não teve essa chegada mesmo do Betão. É aqui, a sua torre já tá sendo focada. O Kurt
Hugado... Lane swaps are a huge test of your jungler as well and what they want to do. So you can tell that Hugado just wants to power farm. They're going to give up first blood, they don't care. Really good tank. This is super clean, by the way. That dive, ultra clean. Crosstail takes 2 shots and that's it. They managed to drop aggro perfectly, so it goes on to minions after. The reason why that's super important is because a lot of times with Scions, in lane swap situation like that, you die early and that's okay. You're just trying to get to level 2, level 3 as fast as you can, and you'll see them TP immediately back in. So the less damage you take on the first dive, the better it is for your second dive. Oh, that's an interesting choice from Betal. So Betal actually dies to make this happen. I think that's a mistake, to be honest. Oh, wow. That was really, really close. Yeah. I was really scared that the zombie form would actually be able to take down the bloblings. That's why I thought it might be a mistake. If you don't die, it's okay, because by the time Betal actually needs his passive, it should be back up again. There's no pressure. So on a VOD before, just roll gank lanes, most annoying crap ever. Yeah. I am sure. Yeah, Janna is obnoxious. I'm pretty sure Riot's gonna nerf her soon, if they haven't already nerfed her. Like, I think I saw somewhere that, was it Freak or one of the developers was saying that they didn't bother nerfing Janna because her play rate was too low. But they are aware that her win rate is abnormally high. You run, you stun, get the job done. That's just a all of it for you. You even blew the flash from the Oach, that's huge. And again, once Talia gets a couple levels in, you're really not too scared of the Tristana at that point. Yeah, Costream actually, I was kind of worried he might die too. With how much damage Curdy was doing. Thankfully, we're actually able to kill Curdy before he ended up getting a double kill on bot. So, really well executed dive from KBM.A. Yeah, there's nothing George can do there. That's kind of rough. Yeah, again, both teams so far, I like their early games. It's been well executed. Ooh, that's a nice ward too. Cross at least half his health and damage. Yeah, so after the lane swap's all said and done, it's interesting because Loud initiate the lane swap, right? But they are basically even in terms of CS. So you literally, you kind of pick this lane to just shade and cover and protect your AD carry. Basically, I guess I'm okay with that. I don't know. I don't feel like the advantage is that significant when you lane swap in this sort of situation. And then you're speeding up the game as well, which again, I'm not sure if that's beneficial or not. For the Jinx, she needs time to skill. She gets more gold though, so I guess it's kind of worth. Like you're accelerating it the right way. If you do accelerate the game, it has to be on the Jinx, right? Because that's the win con for Loud with the comp like this.
Pra ser campeão do CBLOL Academy, ambos os times que jogam hoje precisam vencer hoje, amanhã e domingo. Vai ser loucura, tá? Eu concordo, Mami. E a loucura já tá sendo instalada dentro do seu Summoner's Rift. De novo sendo focado, vai tentar abraçar a torre e vai garantir o shieldinho no momento certo. Só que o Betão tenta agressivar. Ele já perdeu a sua passiva, então se for eliminado, não vai ter como voltar de hoje. Finaliza com mais uma explosão. 3-1.
Yeah, Curry is dying a lot. That's not great. It's not necessarily Curry's fault. Like, it's good rotations coming through from KBM to punish. Yeah. KBM's definitely cleaned up the gameplay a lot. Oh, does the Sand die here? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's kind of not good from Loud. Yep, support will combat. Okay, so this is really bad for Loud actually, that series of events topside. First of all, Curdy getting caught bot lane was already not a great situation, but it's not really Curdy's fault. Like, the call is just kind of like, hey, you know, go back to lane, and there was no coverage. They were trying to set up for a topside play. And that's okay, right? Like, as the tanks, you don't really care if you die that much. I mean, it sucks that kills go over the way of, like, your mid laner, which is never good, or the opposing mid laner, but Curdy dying is not that big a deal. Bitao doesn't get that big a lead. The problem is this part, because Loud sacrificed their bot lane to make this top lane play happen, and a single TP kind of stopped it. If the play got called off, it's already a net negative for Loud, but not a big deal. The fact that you lost Santa and Militia here makes this a massive deal. They kind of screwed up, basically. They overchased in and just got punished for it. And now suddenly KBM's off to the races. Yeah, big dubs for KBM. And what's even scarier to me is the fact that KBM already, again, mechanically, this team should be the best in the league. Like, they have 4 or 3.5, however you want to call it, former CBLOL players who are Skuro role swap, but he's still good. He's still got the game understanding. And their one, like, non-former CBLOL player is, like, probably the best rookie right now. Rookie of the split to me. So, their mechanics were never in doubt. Oh, Bitao? Ah, he gets out with the mini flash. Okay. Oh, the mini jump. Nice. Yeah, so the fact that KBM's executed this early game really, really well, it's good decision making, it's good macro, that has been their weakness. And now Curdy's going to get punished again. Like, these dives are only going to get easier. Ooh, Scary took an extra turret shot. Not ideal. That's fine. Vai cair com as 5 barricadas dispostas a favor do time da Kabum. Yeah, Curry's just trying to slow this down as much as possible, but I do not believe Santa Militia will win the first break race. One thing I kind of didn't comment on, because we were focused on the lane swaps, was Loud to pick up first set of Void Grubs, and they're also set up to take the second set of Void Grubs right now. They'll take top lane turret and just rotate right to Void Grubs. Or at least, if they take the turret too fast, I mean, they'll be in the area to take this. So we're trading, like, first drag for 2 sets of Void Grubs. Not the best trade, but KBM was focused on getting lane advantages, which I think is not inappropriate for them. Like, this is a team that has a lot of potential mid-game spike power. Loud's going to be in a way much slower because you're just playing on the Jinx and the Jinx alone. Like, Annie will be a threat, but Annie, Talia has a bit of a mid-game power trough. Or, like, early mid-game power trough when she's waiting for Ceres to complete is when Talia's a little bit weak, so Loud will have a weak point coming up soon. And it's going to be pretty significant. Wow, I really do not like this from Loud, that they took top lane turret and they didn't actually rotate into Void Grubs. The timing's off, and now KBM gets there and gets Void Grubs, so they get Dragon and Void Grubs. And first break. Again, KBM are just coming up ahead right now in almost every play. If you're Loud, that's not a good sign. Oh, Curdy. Oh my god. That wasn't even a dive. Curdy just dies. Like Vital and Scary didn't even need to do anything. They need to go cover bot now as fast as they can. Dio's just TP as well, so worst comes to worst, if they try and do a dive, you can do a TP and 3-ban it. Okay, rocket. Field goal. Doesn't even hit minions. Okay, when I call for Vital to go down bot, I needed Scary to go with him. This is diveable now. Loud will be able to win this race, but oh well. Oh, good flash from Curdy. He actually dodged the bulk of that damage. And that means they can't dive. Okay. Yeah, that's why I kind of didn't like this move from Vital. Like, if Scary and Vital both move together, then I think they actually can hold that turret. But if you're going solo, then you kind of have to be really, really careful about it. Oh man, these dives. Like Curdy at 06-0 looks like he's inting his face off. He's actually playing this quite well. Like, you're just trying to pick up CS as the Scion. You are not worth gold anymore. This is like kind of like inting Scion, I guess, where you just don't care about how much you're worth at this point. Hugado speaker. I just thought they were just going to turn around and kill Hugado. I know Annie is coming, but I think the burst damage is actually really, really high. And there's still teleports from Dios to come back up the top side if they need it. Okay, so again, we're trading very, very even. Loud gets the faster second turret take, but there's no bonus for that, so KBM.A are just answering. So yeah, that's what I was talking about, like lane swapping is decision making. A lot of times it tests how your decision making kind of goes, and I argue that KBM.A, I think, came out ahead on top of that's why they came out with the 2,500 gold lead. Oh, good pick. And he's kiting well. Scary needs to start body blocking some of these. There we go. Yeah. Oh, Skuro walked into those. Inting Scion only works if you want it, not be forced. Well, that's what I said. It is a choice that Loud's making to just sack Curdy. It's not really inting Scion. Well, or if it's inting, it's your team kind of inting you, right? Like the call is just made for Curdy to just keep dying right now to try and pick up some CS, any CS, and try and get ahead for the eventual lane swap. And that's why I said it actually kind of worked, because you're noticing that Curdy is higher level than Vital is. That's because Curdy doesn't mind dying if he picks up CS, right? And that's the advantage of Scion and his passive, the zombie passive. He still gets to pick up farm, even after dead. That was a good TP from Dioj. Also, good job from the observers. The way they hid Dioj's TP. So we kind of basically got Annie's POV with how this gank went down. Like, Annie had no clue that Dioj was coming from behind. Now, it does burn TP. And Dragon is coming up before that, but I think that's fine because they're looking for Vital to split push, and Dios will probably move the team for this. So. Yeah. And this is the power trough I was talking about. This is where Loud can't really fight or shouldn't really be looking to fight. Your bot lane right now is behind because Skuro got so many kills. You're up. Not a full item, but a significant component of BF Sword. And your mid lane, Talia is sitting on an Archangel staff, which is not fully stacked. Or even close to fully stacked. They're half stacked. 180 is halfway. So you compare that Kraken Slayer from Dioj with Tristana's sort of innate strength in the early mid game, and Loud should not be able to win a 5v5 right now. Okay, peace Orbital. Appreciate you dropping by early. I hope it goes nuclear, man. I want to see a lot of explosions, but if KBM.A played this well, I could see it being a very one-sided 3F. And so far in this early game, again, KBM.A's been doing an amazing, phenomenal job playing this out. I suspect that they got a lot better. I mean, we're seeing their macro improve, but right now, like their early game, especially in a lane swap scenario, really looks very, very clean. Let's see if they throw in the mid game. Oh, and one thing I want to talk about that I kind of forgot was we saw a little bit of jitters yesterday from some of the players between Pain and K-Stars. Like first time on stage, game 1 was a little bit slow, and we saw quite a few sort of chokes or uncharacteristic mistakes coming through from players. That's another thing we'll have to watch for this game. Because Kaboom has so many veterans, because so many of them have played on this stage before, I don't expect Kaboom to show too much nerves. If anybody, maybe Dioj, but so far Dioj has been doing this really, really well. Whereas for Loud, we'll have to see if there's any nerves, kind of in terms of their play. So far, we haven't seen anything, but to be fair, so far we also haven't seen any team fights, right? Like almost all the kills are just turret dives, numbers advantage, picks sort of situation. And in those situations, you don't see nerves show through as much. It's got to be the clutch moments, you know, when your heart rate's up and you're panicking. That's when we start to see mistakes come through. Herald being picked up by Kaboom, completely uncontested. Dragon was picked up by Kaboom, uncontested as we expected. Props to Loud, they recognize their power spikes and their power drops, so they're not trying to fight right now. They're probably just going to hold off and try and hit that 360, get that Seraph's Embrace before they actually look for a fight. And that's fine, no objectives for about 4 minutes anyways. Also, because of the way the lane swap works out, like you're not worried about defending turrets as much. It's just the mid lane you have to defend. It's actually a little bit difficult for Kaboom to be pushing right now into these turrets. Because of the way lane swaps go, a lot of times you get hyperextended hyperextended side lanes and then the super short mid lane. And that makes it difficult to push out, because if you push out either way on these extended lanes with mid control up for the other team, there's a very fast opportunity for them to just collapse and punish you. And especially when you don't really have split pushes either, right? Oh, insta cleanse from Balesha. Very nice McKills. Curdy, okay. That was not a great ult from Curdy. It's okay though. They pushed him off the turret, that's the important thing. And you saw there, Sant getting a free fire as well. The big problem for me is just who's going to threaten Sant in these fights right now. Because of the lane swap, your solo or your top laners like Patao and Curdy, first of all, they're not huge damage threats, they're more tanks. And second of all, they are also under level. So yeah, it just feels hard to try and punish this Jinx. Scary's not going to do it. It's kind of similar for Loud as well. They don't have great backline access. They've got a Volibear. That's about it. And Volibear does not do well into Xayah because he's burst damage oriented. She's got Featherstorm. As long as she dodges the stun, it's hard for Volibear. But at the same time, and you've got double marksman, which is good. Which is why I didn't really say like this team is the better late game team. The skilling from Loud is good. I am worried for the Xayah specifically, but you do have double marksman who can cut through frontline pretty well. Whereas you just have a single marksman. The benefit of the Loud comp though is you've got mixed damage, right? So you can't just build armor on the side, whereas Curdy and Hugado stack armor, and then, well, Dioj and Skuro both will suffer from that. There's no real magic damage threat to punish them. That's going to be a tank Zac, so. Okay, turret still goes down eventually. This is good for Kaboom. It opens up the map a lot easier. Once that mid outer goes down, it's easier to push in for side lanes on the inner turret. Less of a threat that you get kind of collapsed on as easily. You can still, but like, okay. So it's about warding, right? Like if the mid lane turret's up and you're pushing up here, you've got to ward kind of a lot because they can come in from like almost any angle, right? Whereas once you get that mid lane turret down, as long as you got prio in the mid and your minions are pushing out, you only need to kind of ward the approaches coming in from this side. So the amount of space you have to cover is a lot less. As long as you have that shove in the mid lane. So it's easier to now play for sides.
A equipe da Loud tiver, mais eles vão se beneficiar desse tempo passando, então é bom que eles farmem mesmo.
Yeah, very okay. 10 kills in 20 minutes doesn't sound super low. It's like 1 every 2 minutes, but it's low for CBLOL, and specifically it's low because it feels very low because again they're all picks, these kills, right? We haven't seen big team fights yet. And unfortunately, I've got some bad news, which is that if Loud play this right, they will not see any team fights in the next 5, maybe 10 minutes, ideally for them. If they play this right. They might not. Yeah. Dragon's coming in 28 seconds. I don't know. They might not have a choice. It is their Drake. It is Infernal. They have Lord Doms and Kraken Slayer on Sat. It'll hurt, but...
E tem teleporte já chegando por aqui.
Okay,
Scarab
TP's
faz
been
essa
calling
linha,
from the
Bertão
tower.
tá se aproximando, pode chegar com seu estilingue e fazer todo mundo pular. Mesmo assim, agora
Eyes on how much damage Curdy can take.
junta todo mundo.
If Curdy doesn't take
Leva,
damage,
mas a
which
fight
he
em cima
kind
do
of didn't
Store
there,
agora,
then
momento de
yeah,
esse
Loud can just
cutback poderia
soak
tá
this in buy
rolando.
time.
Scarab de novo agora sim coloca sua prisão glacial pra jogo, mas
Great
aproximando
block
o
from
Cut.
Curdy.
Muito parrudo, muito resistente.
Oh,
Time da Kabum em
wow.
alto dano sofrido.
Okay,
Já
granted,
tá
that's Costream.
eliminação, e
He's
agora o
squishy.
Gato com a
So,
sua ultimate gasta, vai obrigar
yeah,
o time da
really
Kabum a
good turnaround
recuar e
and
vão
collapse
se
from
direcionar pro
Loud.
Rio e pro Dragão.
Okay, this is actually really worrying for KBM at this point. I thought Loud needed more time to scale, but already Curdy's just nigh unkillable. We got double Kraken Slayer. We are trying to rush down Baron. Good strategic use of Herald by KBM there. But yeah, they are down a man. Right? Like Crossdale was dead, just respawned. Okay. Despite the immaculate early game from KBM, I guess this is where they start to choke a little bit and start making mistakes. Yeah. Really tough. You hate to see it for Loud, for KBM, I mean. And really good from Loud.
Essa Jinx batendo um pouco mais. E aí, acabou se embolando um pouco, porque o Arauto que não tinha sido solto anteriormente acabou sendo solto sem muito setup. Foi solto na rota do
Yeah, a lot of this is just literally how much damage can Loud tank, right? And Curdy is doing a great job just tanking up everything here. And this is what I mean about lack of backline access for KBM as well. Like Zac can get to the back, Crossdale can get to the back, but neither Batal nor Crossdale have enough damage to really threaten anybody. And then going for Baron here was just... This is what I mean. This was the bad decision for me. It's not the fight that was bad. It's the fact that you lost the fight and tried to rotate for Baron instead. I think you'd have been better off just pushing mid with Herald in that situation. They dropped Herald. Or drop Herald and then try and set up an ambush like en route to Baron rather than actually doing Baron. He's trying to do Baron with a man down. Just not possible. It's too early as well, even with double Kraken Slayer. You don't have the attack speed to really leverage the full benefit of that. Yeah, and now KBM on the back foot a little bit when they've been in control this entire game. They're not out of it by any means, just a little bit on back foot. I still think you play for side lanes at this point. Like play for faster rotations and side lanes.
Vai expulsar os jogadores de cima do seu carregador, como também vai regenerar os recursos, né? A vida dos seus próprios aliados. Então é aquela coisa que ele não vai lutar por qualquer coisinha não, tá? Tem que ser uma situação de perigo iminente. E a gente tá já diante do momento do Barão sendo iniciado novamente.
Oh, we are still trying to sneak this.
Vão ter agora esse dano por segundo legal. O escuro poderia sim auxiliar ainda mais nessa derrubada, só que a equipe da Loud não tem visão nenhuma dessa parte do rio. Agora sim, eles já tinham uma noção, agora tem. Será que o gato entra pra roubar? Tá quase caindo.
They actually snuck it.
Então agora o Barão
no shot.
fica nas mãos da Loud, mas a fight já é
I mean, good call from Loud. They... Oh, okay, not good. Good reaction considering they already screwed up the timing on it. Oh, Scary's dead. Oh, great Monsoon from Bulisha.
Belo trabalho da bot lane da Loud, sente Bulisha novamente essa
really well played.
Atrapalhando.
First of all, I still can't believe KBM actually managed to successfully sneak that. Loud were a little bit late on the move. But this is the problem. Like, even though you get Baron, what does that mean for KBM? Like, we talk about Baron as if it's like the biggest objective on the map, and a lot of times it ends up being that, barring Elder. But biggest doesn't equal instant game win. And that's a lot of times why I would rather see Soul being taken by a team than Baron being taken by a team. Because now you've got pushing power, great. But what? How? Can you actually reach the turret is the problem. And I've been calling for KBM to kind of play for side lanes the entire time for push. Yeah, you kind of have to now. You're not going to win the straight up 5v5, even with the Baron buff bonus.
Deu pra sonhar que o gato fosse roubar, ele chegou ali com a emissário da tempestade, mas foi um smite calibradíssimo.
Like that starts well, you get the early pick. But I think the engage was kind of rough. And this Janna pick, we were talking about sort of just how gold efficient she is and how much she adds, but Bulish has been doing a great job just stopping all the engages as well. First the Tornado to stop the Tau from getting in, and then the Great Monsoon to stop Crossdale from getting in. And unfortunately, this is why I really don't like Xayah or Rakan as well, against specifically the Jinx, and without some sort of And when I guess Loud has a comp that wants to play into you, but the Jinx specifically, like you need to threaten that Jinx, and you can see that Skuro is having problems right now, trying to step forward and actually do damage. Dioj as well is having a similar-esque issue. I mean, technically you've got better range as the Shazana, so it's not as big a deal. But I suspect if we check the damage scores late, Skuro is going to be quite low damage. I suspect. I could be wrong. But yeah, we'll see after this game. And it's not going to get easier for them either, because Cody's starting to stack armor already. Lugado's doing the same. Okay, this is actually a more effective push than I expected from KBM to be able to play out. They're using Baron pretty well. And he's looking for the threat with the Weaver Swamp. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't think KBM was going to get that effective push necessarily, is because of the way Annie can just protect one lane and then still threaten the other lane at the same time. Okay, we're just going for Soul Point. That's a viable strategy as well. San took a lot of damage here. Oh, good Monsoon again. Does not matter though. Wow. The hell? Okay, Skuro stepped up huge there. Burned both summoners, but made it happen. That's the critical thing. And you found Sant. You managed to isolate Sant and kill Sant. Huge play from Skuro and Crossdale there. Baron's over, but they still get huge push. And they got Soul Point too. Like KBM literally got everything there. I want a replay of the fight. Because the way they caught Sant was a bit surprising to me. I knew they were doing a lot of damage, but how quickly they took out the Jinx was shocking. And that's why like, their health bars are so incredibly healthy. Okay, so my comment about Skuro not doing that much damage is obviously going to be wrong when he does stuff like that. So. Realmente só deu escuro agora nessa luta que vem com arco escudo imortal, tá próximo de fechar a sua itemização. A gente vai ver agora, ele realmente comprou a jogada. Okay, so the Blake already did work. Oh, that flash forward to dodged out on the tornado. That's giga huge from Skuro. Like this fight was pretty much Skuro and just Crossdale. 2v3, but effectively 2v5. Really well played from them. Catching Loud in a sort of choke point like that. I think Sant just flashed a little bit late, or stepped up a bit too far, which made the flash not as effective as it otherwise could be. Like the win con for Loud is just being able to space for Sant, right? So, but that's on Sant himself to be able to space a bit better. Like I wouldn't call that a huge mistake from Sant. I don't think it was like an unforced error sort of thing. It was a small mistake that Skuro hugely capitalized on. Yeah, it just feels really bad for that to happen to Loud. Loud's still actually not in a bad position despite being down 7,000, 7,500 gold though. Like again, you can see how much damage Curdy is actually taking and still able to tank up. So you're still able to buy time for your team. PD is now completed for Sant. 3-item Jinx is kind of scary. Yes, Skuro's at 4 items, but Immortal Shield Bow is not going to feel as good. It's going to be good defensively, but it's not going to necessarily help that much in terms of damage trying to match DPS against the Jinx. Or maybe, hey, just a theory, Skuro buys Immortal Shield Bow, flashes in, ghosts in, is going to tank it up all to just kill Sant, and then tries to carry the back of the fight. That's viable. I could see that. Ai, meu caro Escuro imortal hoje. Eu acho que essa round wounds completed for Curdy. 2-item power spike hit. Vital was a lost push here because he had to go Force of Nature. Oh, not Force of Nature, sorry. Spirit Visage. Oh, are we doing this again? No way we sneak twice, right? Blue Tree can see it, but it's too late. It's gone. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. KBM actually gets it twice like this. Okay, first time, I excuse it. Like, you didn't expect it, and also they snuck it, kind of, with only 3 members. But the second time this happens, that's kind of not okay for Loud. Very much not ideal. Good response, though. I like this hard push from Loud to be able to do this.
bastante. 1 minuto e 10 pra gente ter o nascimento
My fear and concern is not that the Baron power play is going to take a whole bunch of turrets. It's more like that's going to give push to Kaboom and get Prio, and then they can always fall back for Soul as well. Or they could just end, actually. I mean, they do have an 8k gold lead. Is it enough to win this fight? If Kaboom can win a fight, they can end the game. But I'm just not confident they can into Nexus turrets. Or even actually an inhibitor turret. We'll see. I mean, supers are pushing in, so.
Mais uma avenida a ser aberta aqui pra dentro da base da equipe da Loud. E a condução pra parte de cima agora já é iniciada. A torre também começa a ser o foco. Aqui embaixo, dentro da base, a gente percebe o Kurt tentando segurar com todo esse ímpeto. A equipe da Kabum tá com sangue no
Man, there's one hero siege minion. Oh, it finally went down. Viewers probably should have tanked. It's fine either way, it doesn't matter.
Eles saem da base e levam essa alma infernal, mas ainda tem mais de 1 minuto.
Oh, this is
de barão, com
obnoxious.
muitos minions chegando, a Kabum pode continuar só pressionando.
Tá pra nascer, menos de 10 segundos, vamos ter esse elemento sim, mas agora só resta as torres de Nexus
Okay,
e o
Kaboom just
Nexus
pushing,
propriamente
grind
dito
it down.
do time da Loud. A Kabum pode buscar uma fight e acabar por aqui a partida.
Pois é, talvez eles nem precisam iniciar, porque esses minions bufados ali, super minions, 2 super minions em cada rota que já chega, é difícil da Loud.
And again, Dragon's up too, so
Só a Kabum fazendo
when that
essa
minute's
pressão,
up,
colocando
or
o
if Kaboom take too much
barão
damage, they can always
vai
just
ser
pull
o
back.
necessário pra
Loud will
conseguir
not be able to
atuar.
chase with
Esse
supers
último
pushing in.
minuto
Oh,
agora
Dio gets
basta
chunked.
devagar, viu? Esse minutinho de barão que a Kabum tem, a Loud vai contando segundos, fazendo de tudo pra se defender.
Yeah,
Tem que
Rockets
fazer
is, I
uma
think, the
rotação
longest range
ali
auto
pra
in the
ver quem
game.
vai pra
Like,
baixo, quem
standard
sobe, quem pega
auto
ele,
in the
quem
game.
pode ainda ficar, pega agora um gume do infinito Sante, mas vai chegar mais uma onda.
So Dio's just getting outranged. Oh, even Batal's kind of getting chunked a little bit. Well, we mentioned before, he doesn't have armor, so. Okay. Well played from Scary. Yep, but they can't push him. Good redemption from Crossdale. Minimizes damage.
É o dragão agora, né? Dragão infernal, essa alminha
Okay.
no drive
Yeah,
thru.
really well played from Kaboom. Very patient play from Kaboom.
Tranquila na volta à base, pegar
They
o
push in
dragão,
and they just
e
slowly
ele
take all the
chega pra
inhibitors.
tentar desviar
But you're seeing sort of the
todos os
pushing problem that they have,
inibidores
right?
separados.
Like, this comp is really good defensively.
Méritos da Loud que
Well,
não
specifically
se percebe,
Zaya is
é uma
really good
situação
defensively.
difícil. Claro que
But
dá pra
offensively,
tentar, claro que a Kabum ainda tem o mando do jogo,
offensively this
acabou o
sucks.
Barão, mas eles têm
It's
essa
really
alma
hard.
infernal,
And that's why like,
que
they're having
conseguiram
problems actually pushing into the
defender.
final
Teve
setup
momento
next to
ali que os
starts,
3
even with
inibidores
Baron buff.
estavam no chão, então,
If they had a bit
pelo
more
menos
time, they would have definitely taken
respiram
it. The
agora,
double supers
podem
pushing in
tentar
is a huge
alongar
issue
ainda mais esse jogo,
for
de
Loud.
repente, pro nascimento do próximo Barão,
So
conseguir
Kaboom
empurrar
probably
um
still
pouco
have
mais
this, as long as they don't
rotas,
throw,
ainda
and I don't
tem
think they will.
3 inibidores
Like, they make
derrubados,
occasional mistakes,
então
but
ainda precisam ter um pouco mais de cuidado em como eles vão dominar
surely
essa
not
onda de
this one.
minions.
E assim,
Surely
a
not
gente
like
tem um
this.
ponto e um contraponto. O Sanji tinha acabado de fechar o gume do infinito. O Scary puxa um randuin agora pra segurar um pouquinho desse dano dos críticos que ele tava conseguindo. Acho que ele foi a peça-chave pra essa limpeza dos minions e evitar que o GG viesse tão cedo. A próxima luta, talvez até nenhuma
Infernal
luta seja necessária pra
Soul,
gente ver essa
double
marcha
supers
sendo
pushing
finalizada.
in.
Mas esses pequenos detalhes que são onde o time da Loud tá caindo pelas brechas.
A Loud até conseguiu afastar um pouquinho as ondas de minions, mas são 6 super minions chegando a cada vez que as ondas chegam na base deles. É dificílimo de segurar isso, eles sabem disso, mas vão sendo heróis, vão tentando o máximo que eles podem se segurar. Acabou
Yeah, I still
agora,
don't know how I
chegou
feel
o
about
time
this whole
inteiro, tá todo
Jinx
mundo
lane swap that
preparado
came
pra
through from Loud.
fazer essa frente, pra fazer contato.
O time inteiro, mais 2 super minions em cada rota.
Já tem entrada pra cima, pode trazer eliminação do lugar.
Okay, who got overcaught?
Total por parte do time da Kabum, continua limpando todo o caminho. Primeira eliminação vem na mão do escuro, Super Mega Mista da morte já invocado.
Oh, Batal
E
still
ele passa
alive.
na frente, já faz o double.
Sad is dead.
Tudo feito também pro
Yep.
triple, chamando Pedra. É
Key member down.
simplesmente o momento, vem pra
So Quadra, do we get a penta? No, Batal stole the kill!
veio pro time da Kabum, é o
Batal!
vitória da
You
Kabum.
trolled your AD carry!
Não veio penta, mas foi gigante o escuro, garantiu o quadra e o triple ali já tinha sido o jogo. Que partidaça!
Yeah, well played from Kaboom.
É, meu Deus,
Right there, Batal apologizing to Skuro.
Nossa, querido.
Or making fun of him, I'm not sure which way it went,
O
but...
pentakill do nosso mano escuro, que é um leão de pentakills, né? Só esse split já tinha feito 2.
Yeah.
Mas assim, meu caro amigo, a situação é, o time da Loud
Okay.
segurar
That was
por
kinda
muito
odd,
tempo, mas
because-
a gente sabia que o destino seria finalizar a partida.
Like, I don't feel like Loud made any
uma coisa
mistakes.
assim tão
Kaboom played that
simples, né,
relatively
esse
well.
jogo,
Kaboom
ele
made the one sort of
vai entregar uma boa luta nas mãos da
misplay
Loud.
error.
E a Kabum parece que foi tentando assim ameaçar, forçar, jogar um verde.
And then it looked like Loud was just going to take over the game from there.
Minerar os recursos.
No, where was it? I'm trying to find it.
Tá quase caindo. Tá prestes a ser finalizado, então agora o Barão que fica nas mãos da Loud, mas a fight já se inicia.
No, it was right before this, I think.
Cara, de frente pra Loud, acordar.
Yeah, they just botched up that one dragon. This fight, yeah.
Quando se fecha, como é que chega
And it kind of looked a little bit doomed at this point. Because Loud's skilling, or Loud's composition when they're ahead makes it hard for KBM to play this out.
E o que eu tava falando,
Hello, YouTube?
enquanto o Bolecha tiver ultimate, a KBM não pode se
I'm gonna have to refresh the page. I think
completamente
YouTube
com as
showed me again.
iniciações, porque ele vai ultar
Yeah.
e vai
But that
acabar
was like
com
the situation where I thought, okay, maybe Loud turn this and start dominating. But then the catch in the jungle. Okay, I have to refresh, sorry. Give me a quick second here.
Né, dos outros jogadores ali, realmente só deu escuro agora nessa luta que
I don't know if I have to like flat out full close the thing or whether just a refresh would fix this.
da Loud, mas mesmo assim, né? Se não tem que fazer o
Okay, it looks like a refresh fixed the
5
problems.
contra 5,
Yeah, it was just that pick in the jungle from Skuro. For me, because of that, I look at Skuro as MVP. Like Crossy and Skuro both stepped up huge, but I feel like Skuro did.
e valeu.
de fechar.
Skuro impressed me
A
more
gente vai
with
ver
this play.
agora, ele realmente comprou a jogada e num lugar
Because
fechado,
Skuro was the
né,
one who kind of like really
trabalhando
stepped up and
num
did
lugar
like a lot of the work.
apertado contra
Yes,
uma
Crossy
Zyra
did well
que
too
fica
with
ainda
coming
mais
in
fácil pra ela
and kind of
conseguir
threatening them and
acertar
blowing
suas
summoners
penas, né,
or
tem
spells,
mais
but
facilidade
yeah,
nesses
Skuro was more clutch to me
alvos, nesses
in
locais,
terms
no
of stepping
caso,
up and actually doing the work.
mais fechadinhos,
Really trying to
assim,
regain his
brilhou
like
demais
AD carry king
e
crown.
conseguiu, como o GSTV falou, dar a vez pra KBM novamente no
I
jogo.
don't think
O surreal
they
que ele fez.
faced.
Você tá que tá hoje, hein, Ana? Que é aí? É você. É você
Yeah, I don't think
mesmo.
Kate and KBM have played each other yet,
Treinou
but
com a
I
água.
or
E
outside the
é,
regular
mas,
season.
né, tá no sangue,
But I
depois
really
a
want to
gente
watch
confere os
Kate
melhores
KBM
momentos, o
again.
Clutch foi eliminado,
I
ele
think
volta com o
Kate
teleporte
actually
pra
lost
essa
to
rota
KBM in the regular
inferior,
season,
quase conseguiu levar
especially
o
this bot
cartão,
lane.
tá? Ele chegou a machucar,
Because
chegou a
Skru's been doing really,
atirar,
really well in the
quase, a
academy,
última
but
geração
Mortius
da
is
Moeva
supposed to
não
be
foi
like
destruído. A
the
resposta por parte da Loud
the
quase
guy,
foi
you
boa
know?
também, só que o Skuro e Crashel estavam numa sincronia fora de série.
So
não é à
I'm
toa
really
que a
curious to see how
Ajuda,
that
Lourdes,
matchup
aí Rakan
would go
consegue
right
esse
now
avanço,
if Skru's in
consegue
form.
literalmente
Glad
separar
to see
o time
Skuro
da
kind of
Loud
wrap it
e
up.
com isso começou já a capitalizar uma vantagem.
But that means they'd have to
que a
beat
gente
Pain
viu o
Gaming
tamanho que
Academy,
estava
and
essa
they'd have to
saída.
win today.
É, e era
KBM
difícil
can definitely
de
win today.
jogar, né, de encarar ela, essa jogada aí do topo.
Yeah.
Já foi um
Loud did
comecinho,
nothing wrong.
assim, dele conseguir
This series,
usufruir da
or this
vantagem
game
que
so
ele
far.
teve da
It's
inversão.
not like
E
they
essa jogada, pra mim, é o
misplayed.
grande momento
I
do
don't
jogo
like
do
the
time
lane
da
swap
Loud,
from them,
que
but I
ele
don't think
consegue
it was
segurar a
wrong
chegada
per se.
do time da KBM, devolve,
I think KBM
joga
executed
na
better.
sequência
The
do
KBM made
dragão e
the better
mostra que a
choices,
composição,
what they want to do.
era
But at the same time, like
muito, era
Loud
muito
just wanted to get
protegida.
their jinx ahead, right? This is
Dá
not
pra
like
gente
a we take
acreditar
tower
que talvez
faster
fosse
situation,
rolar, sim, essa vantagem no-
which is
se
why I
as
don't like
fights
the lane swap
fossem
that
sempre
much.
no
But
5v5, mas a KBM trabalhou de outras formas, né?
É porque a Loud, ela
Yeah.
sempre precisava do algo a mais, né? Porque apesar de
yeah,
tudo,
this
eles
play.
sempre estavam atrás, mesmo vencendo, né? Algumas poucas lutas.
And that was what
pegando
Skuro
alguns
couldn't do the first fight,
abates, tirando
was
pouco
really
da
get into
desvantagem,
there
eles
and dig
precisavam
into
sempre
Curry.
ir além. Com isso,
The
eles
constant threat
ficavam
for the engage was
ali
too big.
naquela-
But in a
naquela
choke point like
posição
that,
de que não podiam
yeah.
errar, porque se eles errassem, a
Loud
KBM
couldn't quite find the
continuava
engage because people were over
avançando,
the
e
wall, they got
bastou,
split
né,
up.
aquela luta que a gente viu agora anteriormente no Dragão, pra Loud ficar ainda mais acuada, acabou retomar de fato toda a vantagem que eles tinham. Eles
Yeah,
nunca
well,
perderam,
Curry
mas aumentar
is
ainda
very
mais
tanky.
e
He
partir
really doesn't do that
pra
much
base
damage. It's
da
not that
equipe
big a threat
adversária.
E
to
não
team.
falamos do roubo
They
de
can
Tenta,
kind
mais
of
tarde
ignore
eu
him.
converso com o Betão, mas assim, o Skuro já tava ali muito solto, a gente percebeu naquele triple kill que ele garantiu, que foi o ponto praticamente de virada a favor do time da KBM. A partir daí a
That
história,
burst.
a partir daí a Nexus no chão. E
Okay,
agora a gente
Skuro should have
consegue
high damage.
confrontar a matemática por detrás da partida,
I-
só uma escalada
Wow.
por parte dos ninjinhas.
É, e todo mundo
Wow.
completamente
Okay,
afastado
I knew he had
dessa
high
área.
damage. I didn't
Ele
realize it
sabe
was going to
que
be
o George
this high.
também era pra ser um dos responsáveis,
did-
mas acabou que o ouro ficou
What is
nas
this?
mãos do Escuro e ele
Like,
fez
probably
valer
60,
realmente
70%
todo
of the
o
team's
recurso que
damage,
teve
something around
nessa
there.
partida. Pro lado da Loud,
That's
como
insane,
foi
that's
dito
incredible.
também, a Jinx com bastante dano, tem um pouco mais de dano vindo também das mãos da Thalia, mas o ouro...
As
ficou
does Zaya too, playing
o time
forward.
acabou
Oh yeah,
com
100%
pouco,
Screw my
talvez
MVP.
engane um
This
pouco,
guy
porque ali na casa
absolutely
dos 20
cracked
minutos, eu diria
for
que a
what he
Loud
managed to
teve
achieve.
uma boa
Like,
chance de
trying to
virar.
play forward as
Sim,
Zaya
a
is
gente
so
pode
tough too.
considerar por conta
And
das
Skuro did
forças que
that
caíram
and pumped out
muito
like
cedo,
all the damage.
Mas de passinho em passinho, o time da KBM conseguiu essa vitória, meu caro GSTV. E quem fica o destaque?
Yeah, I'm actually now really curious about how
Vai, esse
this
primeiro joguinho,
affects draft going
tranquilo, fica
forward
nas
as
mãos
well.
do
Because
Escuro.
I don't think the
Ele
draft was
só
bad.
pelo
Yep.
desempenho que ele teve, que dava
Fully
pra
expect.
ver dentro do
1,200.
jogo,
I'm already
tinha que ser
impressed when
destaque,
players
e
hit like
vem do
1k
gráfico
plus
de dano, fica sem dúvida
damage per
nenhuma.
minute.
Tabinha, 88% de
And this game
participação
wasn't
em
even long
abates,
either.
Ele tava soltinho demais.
Tava voando, né? Com as
Like
suas
usually your damage numbers
participações.
go up later into the game
Puro
because
ficou
team
nas
fights and all
mãos
that.
do
33.
Escuro.
Okay, yeah, it's
Uma
not the shortest, but it's not
reação,
like a long
puxou
game.
responsabilidade,
Wow.
conseguiu
Yeah,
fazer
definitely
mais,
deserved that
conseguiu
MVP.
quase
Unquestionably.
penta também. Então, realmente realmente acha que foi merecido,
I did
foi
want
fácil
to
esse
quickly
destaque,
check
mas a Kabum mostrou mostrou que não consegue
Sent
manter
champion
a
pool a little bit.
vantagem, né? Logo naquele meio ali de jogo, de repente no
Because I'm just
próximo
trying to think right now,
eles
like,
consigam
where
corrigir
does
isso, ou
Sent
então a Loud consiga se favorecer desse ponto
go
ali
now?
em
Like,
falso
champ
pra
wise.
equipe adversária.
E falando, né,
Because I
já
feel like
de
the scaling
próxima
didn't work.
partida, meu
I
caro
didn't
GSTV,
like the
o
lane
time da
swap coming
Loud
through
opta
just to
por
cover
mudar
that
os
lane.
seus espectros de duelo para o lado azul
It's
dessa
not like
vez.
Sent
E por ter
doesn't
decidido, né,
have
começou a sair do lado
skillers. Like, he's
vermelho.
played
Eu
a
acho que
decent
gente
amount
pode
of
ter ali umas
other scaling
vantagens
picks. Is
vindo por aí.
this?
Acho que
Yeah, all split.
principalmente eles devem
Okay.
abandonar a inversão. Que era uma
Yeah,
coisa
he's
que eu
got
comentei
a lot of
durante o
scaling
jogo,
options as well.
Pela execução que eles tiveram, a execução que a KBM teve.
I think what I want to
dá
see from
pra
Loud
sentir que
going
não
into
é o
game
caminho
2 is
do
just...
time da KBM
Okay,
hoje,
wait, Varus got
tentar
banned,
talvez
right?
um jogo um pouquinho mais
Varus...
dentro dos padrões e
Yeah, Varus
trazer
got
o
banned.
clutch
Okay,
pro
so you
jogo,
don't have
porque
Varus.
ele não conseguiu
That's
participar.
a really
Com
good
certeza,
shout
mas
from
esse
Kaboom.
próximo jogo a gente começa
Because yeah, I was gonna say,
já
like,
com
just pick the
CBLOL
Varus,
Academy
and then you've got some
logo.
lane pressure and skilling. That's obviously not going to be the case. So, yeah, I think just go for something with a little bit more early game agency, right? Like, there's Lucian on the table. Zeri got banned. They banned Callista. Yeah. Yeah, actually, this is kind of tough. I don't know, man. If Screw's in form, it's going to get really tough for Santa and Militia. And this is always going to be the problem. Whenever any team runs into Kaboom, this is always the problem. Can you deal with the hands check that Kaboom just issues every team? Like, when Kaboom's on form, it's just so hard to punish. I don't know. Like, if the call from Loud here is to just say, hey, we want to avoid going directly head to head against Kaboom, I don't fault them. I think that's a sound strategy. But given that Kaboom executed the early game so incredibly well, the lane swap, and they won out in every way, then it's just like, okay, well, if that's the case, then yeah, I guess we can't just avoid the matchups. And that's normally what you'd expect from a more veteran team. The only reason why it was even perceived as a weakness was because of how Kaboom was playing the regular season with like really questionable play. But that game they made one mistake, one bad call. That's it. Everything else was super clean. So, yeah, I really don't know where you go if you're Loud here.
Eu falo que eu sou o Jungle da LLL.A Academy, tu fala que é o mid. Tá. Fala, rapaziada, aqui é o Gato, o Jungle da LLL.A Academy. Eu sou o N, mid da LLL.A Academy. A gente tá no Fala dele.
How do Annie look so like he's just done and tired? Maybe it was just the day they filmed this. Okay, actually, while you're doing this, I'm gonna take a quick wash and break. Be right back.
Não, no meio do jogo. No meio? No meio é tu. Não. Fora sou eu. No meio é tu 100%. Tá. Dentro sou eu, fora é dele. Acho que pique estranho assim é mais o Bolecha. Ele tem alguns campeões que a gente não usou ainda no campeonato que pode pegar alguns times de surpresa. Por aí, eu já vi uns ficando um tempo na base. Acho que o Santi. O Santi às vezes tem alguns jogos que ele já esqueceu de comprar item assim, treino e tal. Então é o Santi. Acho que é o Santi também. Nosso time não é muito chato com essas coisas não. Tanto é que o Bullet e o Kurt jogavam com um mouse e teclado de, sei lá, de R$20, sei lá, mês passado. Agora que eles estão começando a entrar nesse mundo, então tipo, não tem ninguém muito chato não. Quem fala mais é o Santi, não? No geral. Todo mundo, só tu que é mais... não, tô de boa também. Não, acho que todo mundo fala, mas quem fala mais assim, eu acho que é o Santi no geral. O mais entrosado é o Santi mesmo, que ele é o mais desenrolado assim, sabe falar com os outros, pá. Mas o time inteiro gosta de falar bastante.
Já olhou pra alguém e pensou o que passa na cabeça dele?
Sei lá, maneiro. Acho que sou eu. Eu gosto de comer fora, um restaurantezinho, pá. Ou pedir um negocinho diferente. Verdade, tem dessa.
Okay, I'm back.
O mais nerd acho que é o N. Ele gosta de ver
I really wish there's some way to like actually understand what they're saying.
Pegar no caso, pegar é o Kurt. O Kurt parece que ele tá vivendo dentro de anime. O Kurt, acho que é o Kurt, porque ele realmente acha que ele é um personagem de anime. Pode ser o Kurt então.
Because honestly, yeah, I love this sort of content, but
ao mesmo tempo.
like where you get to talk to players, find out more about them,
Ele gosta de jogar os dois.
stuff off the rift.
E acho que ele consegue jogar no alt tab assim. Joga LOL, aí dá alt tab, joga no TFT, pá. Eu jogava TFT e outros jogos ao mesmo tempo, mas LOL é mais difícil.
um prazer inenarrável estar com vocês e ainda mais agora, que vamos
yes,
falar de
the Ignis Cup and the
As
Goddess Cup
qualificatórias
tours.
chegaram ao fim e trouxeram alguns destaques interessantes entre os 8 times classificados para os playoffs. Começando pela Rise Game, que impôs o seu jogo pela bot lane com uma pool incrivelmente vasta de hiato, que chegou até mesmo a trazer um Rumble ADC. Isso sem falar das rotações da veterana Winzy, que
Man, this footage looks so dark.
rotacionando para ajudar a mid laner Strangers. A PEN, por outro lado, castigou as adversárias punindo as rotas laterais com a carrasca Vidal. E também aproveitou muito da criação de jogadas da Caçadora Júnior.
Pain, Cade. Are those the only two franchise teams in the Ignis Cup right now? That's a little surprising. I reckon it's not the other names from like previous splits. But... yeah. Seventh of May, 10th of May. Are those like their finals? I guess they're like what they did something similar to Academy, maybe. The psychedelic colors, bro. Man, the timing for MSI, because it's in China, is really rough for me on West Coast. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it live very much. APA, yappa. Not gonna lie, I'm actually gonna be quite upset if Loud really struggle against GAM. Like traditionally, I think VCS has always been like good competition for CBLOL, probably like having the edge against us ever so slightly. But this split, honestly, with all the things that happen in VCS, if we lose to them, if we end up bottom of our group, then that's just like, jeez. I don't know how to say at that point, man.
Climinha de CBLOL Academy, climinha de Ignis Cup, climinha de Mid-Season Invitation no nosso querido MSI, meu caro GSTB. Já começou a inverter o dia pela noite?
Não, ainda não. Pretendo aí semana que vem.
Yeah, okay. On to the second game of the series. Like I said, I don't really know what changes we might see coming through from Loud. I will say this is not one of those situations where I think that you can kind of go, oh, forget about game one. You know, it's a small mistake. It was a little thing. You know, just we run it back. I think that'd be a very, very, very bad call to just say run it back. Because I think KBM.A has shown you that they already, like, they had multiple ways to still get back into that game. Like, that was the Skuro show, it didn't have to be the Skuro show. So I do need to see some changes. I'm just not sure what you want to see. On one hand, I think you could try and change up strategy significantly. For one, like I said, I don't really want to see another lane swap come through. I don't like the lane swaps. And if you're not doing lane swap, then you don't need the Scion. You know, you could have gone to something else in the top side for Curdy. Curdy's a very versatile player. He's shown us carries, which could be good. He's shown us, you know, more utility champions or team champions like the Scion, for example. And I don't think his Scion play was bad by any means. I actually thought he did quite well, despite dying a crap ton. There really wasn't that much of a goal advantage to Skuro from all those stats, so that's fine.
Não tinha muito como ter outro tipo de escolha, e aí, claro, ele fica muito atrás, quase que não consegue chegar pro jogo. E quando a gente vê as entrevistas dos jogadores,
I mean, not a bad comp by any means, just I feel like giving more damage options would be a better idea. If you simplify the game too much for KBM.A, then it just becomes easy for them. They're so experienced anyways, as it is, that even, that's why I say, even if it's not Skuro just killing Sant, I think there were other options. Dioj could have done the same.
Não sei se o lado vermelho, pra deixar a linha ainda mais confortável, não seria a melhor escolha.
Já sabia. O Kurt que veio ali nesse primeiro split, né, sendo novato, da mesma forma que o Bullet. Então, se a gente parar pra fazer essa comparação, o time da KBM.A já é velhaco de arena, de presencial, enquanto o time da Loud ainda tá...
And kind of same as yesterday, I'm not really calling for side swap yet, because I don't know if it's necessary to side swap. Like, there could be an advantage for Loud to side swap here if they want to, and then just don't ban the Kalista, maybe pick the Kalista yourself. But my concern is if you pick early game champions into KBM.A of all teams, it's kind of rough. KBM.A was one of the better early game teams throughout the split. So if you're trying to match hands with them early, and then you can't, then you'll lose, right? Like we saw that happen with Pain on the grand finals. We saw that happen with Pain yesterday when they went with an early game composition with basically no insurance in the late game. And even if you pick insurance in the late game, if Kaboom just kind of draft like more late game options and then don't crumble early, then it's becoming an issue.
Tem que jogar pra cima, tem que trazer de novo, talvez um pouquinho mais leve, sentir que o clima aqui na arena também tem torcida pra Loud, tem torcida pra Kabum, tem torcida pra Loud, que vai empurrar esse time pra frente.
Com certeza, e eu tô bastante animada, porque a gente bem sabe, essa nossa super semana presencial do CBLOL Academy vem com tudo. Quem vencer hoje, se quiser sonhar com ser campeão, vai ter que jogar 3 séries seguidas. Não é fácil.
Mas talvez fique
and I guess this is one of those times too. It'd be nice to have like a co-master or like understand what they're saying, because I'm out of ideas of what Loud's gonna do or should be trying to do, but other people would have ideas, right? And you can kind of play off them.
Vai encarar 3 jogos seguidos. Bom, amanhã também pode encarar mais 2 dias seguidos, né? Então, vamos ver como é que os times vão se apresentar.
Caster start the game.
Chegou num nível assim que tá preparado.
And this is why I'm not a coach as well. I'm not the most creative individual. Like, I can reason and logic my way through things, so like, if I see the draft, I can understand it. But a lot of times, like, without... Yeah. I struggle to think of like what the right option should be sometimes, or yeah, like where we go from tough spots like this. And I do want Loud to find some wins. I would hate for this to be a 3-0 at this point in the game when you're in the final 4. It's a lot because of the way the bracket played out. To be honest, Kaboom probably shouldn't be. Did I say this shouldn't be here? Actually, somebody had to be here. Yeah, so I guess when it comes down to this is like the big gap, right? Like throughout all the split, I'd already said I think we had a very clear top 3 teams, right? Like you have, in my opinion, it was originally Pain, Kaboom, K-Stars. Originally, that was my thinking. I think right now, as it stands, and then there's like a very steep drop off to number 4, right? So, yeah, that was my original thought. I mean, I think the drop off is still very steep here. Like the gap is huge, but I don't know if. Yeah, the top 3 have kind of swapped around. I think K-Star's on top right now with their macro. Okay, Loud did offer blue side. I like it. I think the Prio getting first pick could be kind of big for them. I think they still had options to try if they were on red side, but I don't hate that they did this instead. Hey, I hear the Loud fans. Let's go. Yes, it gives me PTSD, but also it's good to hear fans cheering for their team. I've heard that cheer far too many times in worse situations. Okay, so far same bans, right? Vi, Azir, that's fine. We're still banning the A, so that's fine. And he doesn't want to play it, that's okay. I think Dioj is just really scary on the champion. Kind of similar to Cats. You just don't want to be giving that for free for no reason.
Já Kabum retira o Azir novamente. Eu acho que o Azir é uma peça-chave sim na gameplay do N. Mas a gente ainda tem muitas outras possibilidades. Agora ainda tirar a Tristana.
Triss now. Okay. I appreciate this. This ban. I mean, Kaboom had to deal with lane swaps, right? Loud had to deal with lane swaps too. Triss is just so strong in the lane swaps. If anything, I felt like Kaboom didn't fully utilize the Tristana in lane swaps by picking it mid. So, yeah. I think they recognize the flex power as well. They're just saying, let's not do this. Loud keep all the same bans. This means either Zeri or Varus will be open, and I expect to see slammed here. Oh, wow. Okay, Kaboom wants standard lanes, so they banned this instead. I actually really like this call. A lot of times when there's like 2 potential options that can come through for a first pick, I really like it when red team just lets both of them through. Then you pick one and we pick the other. Yep, see, right away slammed, right? Zeri, Varus. They just instantly like, hey, you pick one, I'll pick the other. And this is a perfectly fine trade. We saw yesterday kind of how both sides can go. Varus does more damage sort of in the single target sort of variety, whereas Zeri does more damage overall to the team, but slower at cutting down a single target. So it's really just like a, hey, who wants what sort of option. Now Varus is a lot more mobile, so I do do feel like you need to set up a front to back, and your support is very important for the Varus. Varus there is a lot more independent, which lets you do whatever you want with your comp. But yeah, this will be completely different, I suspect, the draft from what we saw in game 1. So this will be one of the series, I think, where loser always wants blue side, blue prio, because of the potential first pick options to come through. Especially for KBM, because I think KBM has the advantage, I think, so far, because I think they have bigger champ pools, and they can do more. Rek'Sai for Patel, we see Aatrox being used as an answer, we saw that yesterday. I don't think Aatrox is the strongest answer, but the whole idea is just kind of scaling. Oh, wait, hold up. I keep forgetting they can do this. I think Scary's done this before, where he plays the Rek'Sai. Do it, please, slam this, it's good. Trust. I'm already surprised we don't see more. Rumble, there we go, Batal Rumble! Let's go. Actually, Scary did not play the Rek'Sai.
Mas é
Okay.
interessante o que a Kabum tá propondo agora, porque a gente
Somebody
fala
did,
e a
but it
gente
wasn't
viu
scary.
muito a Rek'Sai na rota
I'd have to double
superior,
check who did
mas
that
ela
in the
tem a
jungle.
flexibilidade
I know it
pra
has been
selva,
flexed before
o
in
próprio
Academy
Rumble
and
também
even
tem
in
essa
CB Lone.
flexibilidade que você acabou de citar.
But it came out first in
faz
Academy.
uma primeira rotação de escolhas que é difícil entender exatamente
Okay,
onde eles vão querer
we're
jogar,
looking
porque
for
o Atrox,
support and
ele é uma
mid,
resposta forte a Rek'Sai na rota
and we're looking
superior.
for
Mas
support
será mesmo
and
que a Kabum vai
jungle
colocar esse
here.
Rek'Sai lá no topo? A gente ainda vai ter que ver pelo desenho que a Kabum continuar
Okay,
dando
I
ao
almost feel
draft
like you've got to
deles.
ban Nautilus and Rakan, but you went with Ori instead. That's an interesting choice. I mean, it's a really good setup for Rumble, I'll give you that, but I guess he's afraid of the ball onto Rek'Sai, and then just kind of pulling everybody in for a huge knock-up into Chains of Corruption into Equalizer. Oh,
Então,
the
tira uma
Nautilus.
opção de iniciação, né? E
Nautilus
o
gets
Kabum tem uma
banned
forte
by
motivada,
Kaboom. This
inclusive,
surprises
ele
me.
que só pela ultimate
I feel like you should
consegue
have just left that
travar
open and
muita
slammed it here.
mobilidade, a
As set up for
movimentação,
the
né, que o
Rumble.
Varus
Interesting.
poderia ter. O último banimento da Loud está garantido nas mãos da Sejuani. Percebe que mesmo tendo essa Rek'Sai, é difícil para Loud conseguir ler.
Hold the
o
front door.
draft da
Why are we
Kabum,
banning
e
Sejuani?
é notável, que é visível, que se a Kabum garante
What?
agora o mid laner, ainda
Wait,
fica
are we
muito em aberto.
are we thinking this Rumble
Toda
mid?
uma flexibilidade pro last pick.
No shot? I don't know what this ban is. Yo, this has to be a mistake. Why are we banning Sejuani here? Top and jungle have already been locked. Is that a Sejuani support? Do we think that's a thing? This just feels so bad to me. I don't understand this. Yeah, it feels really, really bad to me. It feels like a completely wasted ban. We're seeing the Ari to Leo handshake again, with preference on the Ari for Kaboom. Or do we think this is Rumble support? No, guys. No. I mean, I think Costream has done it in CB LOL before. I don't know if he's done it in Academy. Oh, he did in Academy. So that is... Oh my goodness. Holy crap.
Até levantei, né, durante o draft como
We're seeing the
Atrox, ele é uma
Rumble
resposta
support.
forte contra a Rek'Sai. E mesmo assim, a Kabum não tá incomodada
okay.
de jogar esse matchup, vão encarar na rota do topo e o Rumble vem pra rota inferior.
Okay, so,
No final,
first of all,
escolhas que
screenshot
apontam
again,
de
I
até,
forgot.
de certa forma,
But I have so
segura,
many
né,
questions about
dos
this draft
campeões
now,
que
and about
ele
how it
realmente
ended
é
up proceeding.
muito bom,
Like, I don't
passando a Rek'Sai de fato pra rota superior.
don't
Até
understand
levantei, né,
this.
durante o draft como o Atrox, ele é uma resposta forte contra a Rek'Sai.
Give me a sense to just paste this and I'll talk about why I'm struggling to understand this draft and why, like, I'm not a huge fan of the draft. Okay, so, first off, no, I'm doing because the pick order kind of matters. So first off, if we think this is Rumble support, which they did, and you know what, props to them for catching that. I did not think that was going to be the case, but obviously Loud did their homework. You know, maybe in scrims they found out the information. They knew Costream was going to slam this. Rumble to the support role. Great for them. Why are we picking Rel? I don't think Rel is the choice to go into a Rumble support. Like, I think a Yumi or Lulu would have been really good here instead. It gives you like the range to actually play away from Rumble. It gives you the movement speed to get away from Rumble. It gives you sustain. I don't like this Rel pick. If you think this is going to be support, you got the right read. I don't know if I got the right answer. I do like the Xin Zhao though. I think it'll do very effectively. But yeah, I just don't like doing that Rumble support. And then I don't like the Rumble support because at the same time, it's like I feel like the Rek'Sai top into Aatrox is not a good matchup. So why are we doing it? I think Rumble will be so much more effective into Aatrox, and you get skilling, you get the strong early spike in teamfight with it as well. It just, I don't know, it just feels really weird. Our release in is okay, but now Kaboom feel like they've indexed quite heavily into their early game. I do like this into Zeri though, specifically, because at least you've got options to kind of punish the Zeri and make sure that she doesn't get a free fire later on team fights. It's an okay draft overall. I just don't quite get the supports that we're seeing from both these teams. We'll see how it plays out. Like, I think the Rumble could have been punished much more effectively as a support. I think Volish is going to have a really hard time. Another thing about Velicia's rel pick as well is that in the team fights, I don't really see that big an impact. Like, sure, you can magnet storm people, I guess. Who are you trying to catch, right? And on top of that, there's always Scary can always just Dragon's Rage you back out of the fight and then kind of break your ultimate. It's kind of similar to the Alistar hit button, the reason why we see Alistar being picked a lot into rel. Betal messed up a little bit. It's fine. You're Rek'Sai. You'll sustain through. Nothing too crazy in terms of starting items. Hill of Blades Varus is interesting to me though. I guess you're thinking there's no real tank on the other side. I can go lethality. I don't hate it necessarily. And Kaboom as a whole right now with this composition feel very, very early game focused. Rek'Sai doesn't scale incredibly well. You'll get tanky, sure. Lee Sin doesn't scale well. Ara doesn't scale well. If this is lethality, you don't scale well. Rumble does not scale well. I think that's Loud's coach.
Blindar Rek'Sai, a gente escolheu a Atrox, é uma match que a gente gosta bastante, já foi jogada ao redor do mundo algumas vezes.
Yeah, Kaboom earlier bust. I don't hate it. I'm fine with that. And it's kind of why I like this area as well, because I don't think Loud should be trying to match early games with Kaboom. I think you pick skilling, and Kaboom will make mistakes, and you punish those mistakes. And especially against a comp like this comp has to rush. So as long as you can tie the early game. So I kind of like the Xin Zhao, the Leah picks. Aatrox loses early, but that's fine. You're not too worried about Rek'Sai that much early. So I kind of like these three picks to be able to bridge you to the late game. It's not like the strongest bridge necessarily, but it gives you a better like skilling while not sacrificing the early game. They still have to play well though.
Prejudicado no quesito de experiência, o time da Kabum já tem esse nível 2 à frente e a chuva de flechas do escuro vai obrigando o Santi a ficar mais acuado. Tem já o seu espaço, né, o seu alcance limitado, e o Crashel tá tranquilinho, é só lançando seus mísseis e as flechas do escuro também. Olha a diferença já de farm aberta, 10 minions a favor do Varus.
Vai ser o trabalho agora do Santi conseguir fazer
early shove,
hits, né, garantir os last hits embaixo da
good
torre.
wave prep from Sant, trying to minimally miss
ainda,
CS.
né? Pode estar machucada, pode estar bem bagunçada, mas tá aí pra ele tentar garantir os seus last hits também, empatar com a dupla da Kabum, né, com o farm.
Yeah, okay, when you're up against the Lethality Varus, you need to play on this side of the turret. When you play on the lower side of the turret, that's just no dodging. It's so incredibly hard to dodge. And you saw Skur's positioning as well. He was going to throw the arrow across this way, so that basically if you can't leave this part of it, you're going to get hit in this lower part for sure, almost guaranteed.
Na sua selva, e o Scary também já tá logo ali buscando o seu bônus azulzinho. Já no mid de hoje, novamente tomando um pouco mais de pressão, sendo um pouco mais danificado no combate, tendo uma área em mãos, mas assim,
top side Betel just getting early aggressive wards. They know that who got his bot side.
Betão ali no topo, né? Ele conseguiu sair um pouquinho da rota, colocar visão dentro da selva adversária.
Why are we double warding this?
Conhecem a movimentação do gato vindo pro lado inferior aqui do rio. Garante a primeira Quamina ali.
Like, I genuinely do not know why we're double warding this.
E o aronguejo lá da parte de cima ainda não
maybe is it because maybe they're thinking like, okay, we want to make sure you're warded for the next like minute and a half. First one's gonna wear out, so Kugado just donates his before he swaps trinkets. I guess it's just a weird call. It's not game breaking or anything. It's not gonna be that big a deal. And Kugado's swapping trinkets, so he really does not care. But yeah, just thought that was kind of weird.
Tava vindo daquele jogo eletrizante, com suave, vários abates, muito ouro de barricadas no primeiro. Agora, tá um pouco mais acalmada, né? Mas, de fato, os dois caçadores
good read from
serão
Hugado.
cruciais pra essa primeira movimentação.
Being able to
até porque
spot
a gente tá
Scary is kind
falando
of
de
huge.
Shinzal,
Again,
eles
pressure's on
são dois
Kaboom to make early game things
campeões
happen,
que
so
gankam bastante, né? Que querem
yeah.
buscar esse início de jogo mais acelerado, principalmente por conta das suas duplas. A Ari com o Lee Sin, a gente já conhece bastante, né? Esse início de jogo que eles têm bastante controle vindo da área, bastante movimentação do Lee
Yeah,
Sin,
for
dos
Loud to
dois,
just be
na
able to
verdade.
track is good
E
enough.
a
That's their job
própria
done
Thalia que
at that
pode
point. Just make sure they don't die.
auxiliar o Shinzal, mas agora o Betão tá
Oh,
sendo muito
huge
focado no
damage.
gank pra cima do Kurt. O Scary chega quase que um pouco tarde demais, mas a devolutiva de dano
Vital
começa a
actually has to be
marcar
careful, yeah.
presença, já coloca também a
Like,
sua
Vital
onda, só
could
então
die.
não utilizou do ataque
Do one
ressonante, mas
rotation
aqui
from Gurdy.
embaixo, o Santi fortemente punido, ainda tá atrás no quesito de farm, mas Crashel e Escuro
He still has
estão
flash, so it's not the end of the world.
dificultando a vida dessas
Curdy
E
had
a
to burn
primeira
his.
vantagem veio aí, né? A primeira placa de barricada destruída, ficou ouro pros dois jogadores aqui.
Oh, good poke. They only took one turret shot.
Já vai se montando agora pra frente. Crashel ainda tá buscando a eliminação. Pelo visto já vem, porque a gente tá diante do incendiário ligado. Vai focando os dois jogadores. Blood!
Snipe.
As mãos da Kabum, olha a flecha!
Oh, first plant.
Flash utilizado. O Santi sai vivo. E bela
Close from
troca
that.
de agro agora.
I guess that's why you're picking the Rumble support for Crossdale. I did not like the pick. I do not like the pick, but Crossdale is... But you know what? I do like Crossdale, and this is why. He's making it really work. Yo, Spoods! Welcome, welcome.
Boa iniciação pra Kabum e o primeiro abate fica
Welcome,
ainda
Lynx
nas mãos do
fan,
Escuro, que é o carregador
who
de
had the
sangue.
dub yesterday.
Sinergia bonita ali do Escuro com Crashel,
Kaboom has woken up. They are actually playing
difícil
pretty good
para essa
macro.
rota
Their
inferior
early
do
games
time
have
da
been
Kabum,
pretty
ainda mais com
good.
tanta pressão.
They did
Eles
still throw once in the
sozinhos
mid game,
conseguiram
but it was not
vantagem
enough to
de
lose the
farm,
game.
de avanço da rota.
I hate Rumble support.
Pegada
I do
de
not
barricada e
quite
também agora do
understand
Flash
fully how it
do
works,
Flash
but Crossdale is
do
making it look
jogador
really
adversário.
sexy.
É muita coisa.
E é uma bot lane que é pra isso, é pra ela incomodar, né?
That's the way he's
Bastante
just
dano
bullying them
no
out right
início,
now.
o
That's
Rumble,
crazy.
ele tá sendo escolhido como suporte, algumas
I also
vezes
don't like that
aparece
flash on Belisha.
falando
I understand
justamente pra
that
poder causar
flashing forward
ainda mais
would have put you in a
dano
worse
com
position.
seu
I just don't think you
irmão,
flashed at
também
all.
com seu
Because you flash back and
lançador,
Crossdale actually
mas
gets
aí
to leave
quando
turret
ele
range
fica
and doesn't have to like fight under
superaquecido,
turret.
vai melee
So less
mesmo,
turret
vai
shots being done.
dando porrada ali nos adversários, e o Varus é
Okay,
dos
Fugado's
melhores
swinging around
atiradores
to
pra
try and
começo de
equalize
rota,
this.
pra pressão na rota, possibilidade
How
do seu
far is our
range
bot lane
ali,
from 6?
o
I feel like if Crossdale
Santi
hits 6 here, they
opção
actually
de
win this
letalidade, então vai
2v3.
causar bastante dano na sua flecha.
The equalizer is
Naturalmente,
called the
já era
equalizer for a
esperado que
reason.
estivessem essa pressão,
Oh?
realmente, e aí,
Did the
assim,
ward
eles
spot out
tiveram que
Scary?
executar um dive muito bem.
E acabou não
I don't
querendo
think it
saber
did.
aqui agora de avançar a rota, querem garantir o dragão, vamos ver se o sexto sentido tá em dia.
Okay,
porque
yeah,
tem
Crossdale's a long way away
jogadores
from
da Loud
6.
que
This
vão
is still
aparecer
doable.
Scary tá focando esse dragão, esse primeiro objetivo. O gato já vem agora ligando o flash.
Man, if that's Fugado, I feel so baited right now.
Paralisação é pra cima do Crashel, que não tem mais os meios de escapar, e vai ser
Okay, it still works, though.
Santi garante o abate.
They burn one flash, but it's a hex flash. It's okay.
Ficou pelo flash do escuro.
Well played from
também,
Loud. Good
rapidamente
answer.
saiu do meio do caminho.
I was gonna say, I feel so
Crashel
baited if I'm
acaba
Fugado there. It
batendo
feels
o
like
flash
Skuru and
do
Crossdale just
jogador
playing at the edge of my
dois.
range because they know
Agora
I'm
é
here and
cobrado,
they're
mas
just
o
trying to waste my
dragão
time.
fica nas mãos do Scary.
E não teve como contestar, o time da Loud estava todo focado ali na parte de baixo.
Yeah,
Primeiro
kill even goes over to
é
Sant,
assim,
so
na Kabum,
that's
o próprio
ideal
Zé, então, um
for
dragão
Loud. Great
Hex
answer.
E a possibilidade da alma fica muito em aberto. As vastilarvas já estão vivinhas faz um
And for
tempo,
Kaboom
mas não
too,
foram
like they get Dragon for
priorizadas
this,
por
but
nenhuma
I
das
don't
equipes.
think they
Só
can
que,
actually
na
get
verdade,
Dragon and
falta
Void
essa
Grubs,
terceira
unfortunately.
A vantagem de XP já foi conquistada pelo jogador da Loud.
A gente até revê a jogada, né, como o Bulecha
Yeah, it's just that easy. Well played.
querendo só saber do Crashel.
And that's kind of like their
A
last window
decisão
too,
dele
because
já
I think
era
once
ir pra
Crossdale
cima
hits
do
6
jogador
again,
que tinha
those
flash,
plays
tinha
become a
como
lot
escapar.
riskier.
O escuro mesmo assim flechou, saiu fora, o Scary tá procurando um alvo, ele tá nível 6.
Ixi, olha, tudo
George
que vai e volta, Tavinho. O George começa a marcar presença aqui.
I love how loud, like they just knew, man.
O time da Loud já mete
There's
o
no
pé
wards there
no
either,
segundo
so
nas
it's just like a gut
barricadas.
feel, I guess,
De
or the
qualquer
fact that
maneira,
Skrull started stepping up
movimentação da
aggressively,
Kabum privam um
and
pouco
Crossdale was
do
not on
farm
vision,
ali do
made them
Santi,
kind
vai
of scared,
pegar um minion agora.
and rightfully so.
Agora sim que eles conseguem voltar pra lane, né, pra torre, no caso, com um pouco mais de conforto, mas ele está atrás, né, de fato, por conta dessa pressão da bot lane, por conta das rotações.
Okay, Fugado
Agora,
just
por
stealing away
enquanto,
with buff
de
instead.
George e Scary, então,
Is he gonna
pegar
get grubs as well?
por ali da equipe da
Because
Loud,
topside Curry's been doing a
um pouco de
great job on
dificuldade,
this
talvez,
Aatrox so
nessa
far.
parte inferior.
Like normally the Aatrox doesn't actually win the matchup this early. Usually you kind of want like at least a Profane Hydra. But I think Vital screwed up the early game a little bit, and Curry just fully punished the entire time. Oh, Scary didn't know.
É, ele ficou lá perdendo tempo, né? Ficou lá ajudando a rota inferior dele, acabou que o gato não
Yeah,
quis
Fugado already
saber,
got 2 of the Void
garantiu
Grubs. I'd love to see him
um
just like
combo
kind of pick up
desse
the third
lado
one
de cima da selva.
in the
Bem
area,
rápido,
you know,
inclusive,
by the
né,
way
o
sort of
gato
deal.
garantir essas vastilarvas, garantir também esse roubo do vermelho.
9 minutinhos já no relógio, resta somente uma vacilável da primeira leva, talvez ainda não seja eliminada efetivamente. O time da Loud
Crosstail is still not 6 yet.
pra baixo, já Crashel avançando, privando um pouco
Like, I understand as a support you want to roam and help your other lanes. I just personally would prefer Crosstail to be 6 before even looking to roam. Equalizer can be used as actually a really effective engage tool because of the slow and the range on it. It's also just really good follow-up. If you want to roam with the Equalizer, if a charm lands from Dios, for example, you can just instantly lay it on the Equalizer.
A Loud tem a vantagem no lado de cima do mapa, mas no lado inferior, né, na bot lane, menos 1000. Aí a vantagem tá bem grande pro time da KBM, inclusive.
Even better too, like, I know Crosstail didn't just base, but one of the things you can cheese with Rumble as well sometimes is like you can actually go this way and then Equalizer across the lane. And then they will actually try and leave upwards because they think that you're coming from bot side. And then you just run right into you. But all that's predicated on actually being 6 and actually having ultimate available.
Que realmente já tá ali com o seu primeiro passinho da letalidade fechada.
Oh, that actually hit!
Do Berserker e o estilhaço de Keep Chase. E além disso, essa itemização
Just the tip.
Varus letalidade é uma itemização barata, né?
Wait, this is actually killable and diveable now. If Chains of Corruption lands, Sant dies. Well, I guess you got cleanse, so maybe you don't die, but it still gets very rough for Sant.
Vai ter o Power Spike, né? Aquele pico de poder ainda maior, o escuro.
Okay.
Inclusive tentou gastar sua ultimate agora, mas
They don't see Hugado.
não vai ter setup de dive mais uma vez.
Now they see Hugado?
Não desiste, vai pra cima.
It does not matter. Oh, the burn from the Equalizer is too good. And they get out from turret range. They're not eating turret shots the entire time. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Oh my goodness. Crosstail just hard committing to this. He's gonna die and he does not care. Oh. Oh, good blocks, good blocks. But Skuro picks it up. Nice. Kill distribution's perfect again too. 2 onto Skuro, 1 onto Diosh. The TP from Annie really backfired. I don't even blame Annie though, right? Like when the dive comes down, you're like, okay, equal numbers. But it's just so rough and Sant just ate the Equalizer the entire time. Yeah, the fact that they got the reset here, this was just so screwed for Loud at this point. There's nothing you can do though. It's Loud. And respect for Crosstail, man. Crosstail tanked it up knowing he was going to die, but they didn't want to wait for another wave. It's too much time wasted. They just want to accelerate it. So I really appreciate that KBM. Like they are not afraid to let somebody die in order to make the play happen. They're willing to sacrifice. Yeah, they speed up the game. This bot lane is now super, super rough for Sant and Belisha. They're already getting bullied before, but now with Ghostblade picked up as well, it's not just the lethality that gives you with the straight at dirt, which already, by the way, is going to be huge with the poke, but it's also the ability now for Skuro to just run at you and look for the engage. And now Belisha and Sant, like, if Belisha ever steps up, you could just die. Like, you make one misstep and you're just going to be absolutely punished. Oh, look at that. 1Q. Quarter health. 1E. And 60%, like 1E, 1Q. That's 40% of your health gone. That's just sick. Yeah, KBM are here to play today. They have an early game. Oh, by the way, early game comp. Their macro has been really good too. They have an early game comp. They're playing to this. Yesterday we saw that who was it? Kate Stars struggle game 1 so hard to execute the early game, and then we saw on game 5 Pain or game 4, pardon me, Pain really struggled to execute their early game composition. KBM are not having any such problems. Great constant rotations and threats from Scary Dioch. It's not the Lee Sin Ahri combo into the mid lane. It's the roams down into this bot lane for this Rumble, for this Varus that's making this so incredibly hard. And both Ahri and Lee Sin are so mobile that turret dives are very, very easy for them. Perfect setup, perfect follow-up. It's just that easy. The only problem where they're having is this top side where Vital is just kind of getting creamed by Curdy right now. Yeah, oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely getting creamed. Again, this is not supposed to happen. And I love that Curdy went Sunder Sky as well. Better trading. That's so incredibly clean. Yeah, Vital's job here is just to live and buy as much time as possible for the rest of the team. Ideally, you should have been winning so that you get pressure in multiple lanes, but failing that, just not dying and feeding Curdy is already like not a bad thing. You're just stalling out for your bot lane to get further and further and further ahead and become an issue.
tem nada pra roubar, meu mano gato. Sinto muito. E agora, com as barricadas já
3
ao nosso
plates
dispor, a gente tem 4 da parte inferior,
for Curdy.
uma da rota
That's
do topo,
really
e
nice.
o Kurt conseguiu bater ali.
Oh, Betal.
Ai, Betão, meu filho, o que você tá fazendo aí? A Loud já assume o domínio
I really like this. And Betal knows exactly where they
vai
are.
conseguir avançar sim, desvia bem, não chega a gastar o flash, né? Sangue frio. Pra
This
ver
is
o
interesting to me that we actually see this rotate being called.
Encontram o escuro
Because
ali,
I
o
thought
Cratiel
we'd see
podia ser
Skuro and
pegado
Crosso
ali
actually
como era
finish this
Rek'Sai,
bot lane
só
before
botou o
rotating
Curiel
for the
fora
extra gold.
tranquilo aí dessa jogada.
And they're not covering up to
Então,
cover Void
acabou
Grubs
com
either.
passo à
Or
frente
Herald, I
agora nessa
guess.
rotação de colocar o Skuro,
It is
que é o
Herald, so
jogador
maybe they are being
dele.
called up to cover
Eles
Herald,
têm
I
já
guess.
também essa
I don't think they
rotação do
needed to, but
Arauto
oh well.
Scary.
a gente só teve 2 primeiras Bastilarvas sendo levadas. E a time da Loud que consegue colocá-las no bolso. Renasceu, não foi focado. Arauto do Vale
Yeah.
agora é
On the bright
só
side, even if they don't finish the start off, it's fine. They're not likely to lose first break anyways. Like, Betal will still lose gracefully in the bot side, so I doubt that Santa and Belisha can take this turret by themselves against Betal that quickly.
Essa primeira torre da partida, enquanto o time tá garantindo o Arauto, enquanto o resto da Kabum tá preocupado.
Yeah, and then we're rotating Crosshill back down to protect this turret. I like it. With Equalizer, you can always wave clear as well. How many times have we seen Betal just burrow away?
Inclusive que seja invocado lá, porque não tem mais defesas. A situação também é que o Kurt foi pra base, vai voltar a pezinho, nem precisa, a torre cai.
Wow.
Abraço dos minions.
That's interesting, because Betal only took 1 plate up top. That means Dioj got majority of the plates in that top lane. They didn't even drop Herald to make it happen. So first plate goes down in the top side, which they'll actually had an advantage in. And now you can just kind of roll swap people, or lane swap people down to the bot side, finish off this turret. Potentially look for a dive as well. And then you save Herald to break mid lane, you can take all the outers.
Ataque do dragão, N vai à frente sozinho mesmo após invocar a sua ultimate. O Kurt
And
já
he's
ligou, então
getting some rough trades, and now
Skuro's
Skuro's here as well, and he's dead.
Olha o N,
Oh, again, just the edge, just the tip! And you compare that to the Magnet Storm from Belisha, which didn't hit. That is really, 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 really rough. Curdy has to be careful. Curdy's getting baited right now. Yeah. Belisha gets out, but at what cost, right? Your support lived for your top laner. Not really worth. Meanwhile, Betal just gets his bot side for free. And again, Herald's still available for Kaboom to take mid. This is such good clean macro from Kaboom. And granted, it's being enabled by their mechanics, right? The fact that Dioj and Scary played this really well, bought time for the team to rotate, and that this lands, oh, just a tip. Like, all this is being enabled by good mechanical play, but you can't argue that the macro is bad or anything. Like, this is really good solid macro. Yeah, Curdy had to stay there to buy space. If not, Belisha dies. I just don't know if it's the right call, right? They're trading top for support. Death timers aren't super, super long, so it's okay, I guess. It doesn't really matter who dies. It's not like Curdy could pick up farm in the meantime.
Com o público, né, de ter a torcida aí empurrando ele. Que segunda partida aí do Skull.
Yeah, Kaboom playing this really clean today. And their mechanics are back on point as well. They're not just randomly doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff. A lot of their stuff is actually played around timers.
A base ainda tá mantida, né? Scary, Dioj e Escuro. 17 minutinhos.
Yeah, Dragon's coming up in a minute. I'm curious to see if Kaboom decides to drop Herald to get pressure for Dragon. Because I think with the 4k gold lead, you're better off using Dragon to bait a fight, and then using Herald to maximize your gains after. They've got the decent vision set up for it as well. I don't know how or how long these wards will last before they expire. But yeah, if they're there for the Dragon, they're set up really well for Kaboom to look for like a massive kill. Equalizer will be back up, Chains of Corruption's back up. You've got great pick potential from Lee and Ari as well on the approach. Yeah, I don't even hate what Loud tried to do either. I don't think Santa and Belisha misplayed. I just think Crossdale played out of his mind with his Rumble initially. And honestly, Loud probably could have, if not for the fact of the repeated dives, could have probably held their own and then looked for scaling. But as it stands now, yeah, it's kind of really rough. Objective Bounty helped a lot though. It shrank the gold lead from 4.5 to 3.5k. Problem is, that was Soul Point you traded for it. And yep, again, we're just looking for this dive. Oh, they did drop Herald, okay.
nós fechar a parede, ele vai ter que fazer um parkour. Cabeçada feita. A equipe da KBM sai com esse
So,
benefício.
fun fact, you can use Celia to actually interrupt the Herald. That is possible. But you have to like, interrupt his charge up, not his, or not her charge. Like, the wall won't stop the charge once the charge is actual. If it goes through, it just goes through. So you gotta interrupt the actual charge itself. And if you interrupt the charge once, Herald will only charge once per turret. So if you interrupt it, she will not do it again. She'll just have to walk up and auto it, and that doesn't really do that much damage.
Tem duas torres já destruídas a favor da KBM, essa torre do meio muito saudável. Não tinha muito
Okay, Curdy's doing well for Loud. There's still a chance once he picks up Profane Hydra if they want to try and look for a fight. If Curdy can find backline access. Because Skuro is still very squishy. Heck, even Scary and Doge are kind of squishy. They're more damage oriented. But there's still some time to go before Profane Hydra gets built, and KBM have been pushing this game pretty fast. On track for a 23-minute Dragon, or 24-minute, I guess. Soul. And Soulshin, which is nice. They've already broken down all the outer turrets.
20 minutos no relógio e o Kurt persiste, ela não puxou porque saiu no
Oh, they baited the collapse onto Curdy.
Mas de novo com tapa rolando, 3 jogadores pra cima do Kurt, aniquilador de mundos ativo, encantado.
He actually missed most of the spells there, which is why Curdy is still alive. But now his Sundered Sky has been fully procced. You don't get any more heals. Sundered Sky is such a weird baiting item. Like, watching the health bar go up as you get the procs is so demoralizing. But it's hard to get like multiple procs off the same person in one fight. So if you're counting how many goes up, once it's down, once you used up all the procs, then they're actually kind of squishy.
O gato não consegue matar o Betão também não consegue matar o gato, que vai
can't actually win that. He's 2 levels down.
Que a KBM vai ter que voltar pra base.
O Kurt curou a vida dele inteira, acabou falando, tranquilo, a gente mata.
It was a good pick from Loud, but this is one of those ones where earlier I was saying that a lot of KBM's plays have been around timers and they've been doing a really good job maximizing benefits. That particular play, they don't lose anything for it. Like, they're not losing lane pressure, they're not burning summoners are out untimely. Like, everything will be back up for the next fight. It's free, but that kill was just a single kill. Like, they didn't get turret after that, they didn't get pushed, they didn't get anything. So, again, it's okay for Loud that that happened. They're fine. They're okay.
Do escuro, sendo que não tem ainda segundo item fechado. É difícil você conseguir brigar no.
Honestly, I was hoping for like big explosions today. It is Loud and KBM kind of going at it after all. A Loud KBM, you know, big explosion. But so far it's been really. It's not quiet exactly, but it certainly is in the action-packed games you'd kind of hope to see. Game 1, I kind of was like, okay, lane swaps, that's just what happens when you have lane swaps. But this game, it's standard lanes. It's really good dives from KBM in the bot lane repeatedly. That was nice to watch, but I like my team fights now, please. Like, especially when you've got a Rumble. I know this isn't necessarily like a huge team fight composition from KBM, but you've got a Rumble who's doing pretty well. You're ahead in general. I would like to see some team fights. And props to Loud for actually denying most of the team fights. We're not seeing it because Loud's not willing to group up and fight. They don't have a choice though in 1 minute. That is Ocean Soul for KBM. And you don't want to be giving that over that early. It will literally make the fights unplayable. You don't even have that much damage on the side of Loud yet, so. Well, I guess Profane Hydra is completed, so. Maybe you can burst somebody out before Ocean starts really ticking up.
Pegaram todos os dragões até agora e podem pegar alma cedo no jogo, menos de 25 minutos, já que falta 30 segundos agora pra gente ver esse dragão do oceano aparecer aqui, esse talvez alma da equipe da KBM.
Loud did a pretty good job defending the mid turret though. That Herald didn't really do that much damage, and KBM is struggling to push into it. Like, it's not terrible for KBM, they're okay with it, they're just waiting for the dragon stack, and then once they get that, they can go for a Baron and all that, and then kind of push in. It's standing gold, but as long as that turret stands, it's also beneficial for Loud. It's giving them much more control over the map. Oh, I love that flank. And then Tao was there too. No follow-up from Tao, though. Unfortunate. Curdy lives? He didn't get insta-popped? Never mind, he got insta-popped. I was just thinking too, like, if you don't instantly kill Curdy, maybe he heals up the Sunder Sky, but... Not quite enough. He didn't actually get any autos off. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's all KBM.A's just waiting for. It's just... Yeah, we want the big fight. Once we get that, it's standing gold. Dragon's up, Baron's up. They're going to go at Soul, and then we're going to start the Baron dance. It's just that easy. Loud had no choice but to fight that. That was a very one-sided team fight. But I absolutely loved the flank position that Scary got there. The idea was good. Unfortunately, the combination wasn't fully there. The tower wasn't close enough to follow up on the equalizer immediately. They do burn the flash from Sat, though, which is really good anyways. How did Crossdale die? I actually didn't see. Oh, Crossdale just... Okay. Crossdale did not need to die there. He just wasn't tracking all the visual effects. Didn't realize the seismic shove was right under him. Stepped up, got punished. Does it matter? Not really. Like, he's still fine.
E acabou não pegando ninguém, mas ainda jogou o atirador pro outro lado, caiu próximo ainda do Betão, então ficou uma luta muito...
Yeah, now for Loud, that fight was kind of disastrous for them, because like you're looking to scale, so anytime you give over a large influx of gold, it kind of just effectively slows your scaling as the other team gets a huge boost. And because of how fast KBM.A was taking dragons, we're going to see 30 minutes Elder Drake come up, and then Loud have to fight that, and I'm not confident that Loud are strong enough to be able to fight that. Baron's also going to be an issue as well, because KBM.A is strong enough to take it. They don't have the best comp for taking Barons, but they are far ahead enough that if Loud show up, they just turn and kill Loud and then take Baron for free. Ocean map makes it kind of hard for Loud as well to try and approach the Baron and Dragon later on.
E ainda com toda essa visão, né? Tem aquele aronguejo que tá incomodando pouquinho pra conseguir fazer pressão no Barão.
Is Vital healthy enough now? I think Vital is healthy enough that you're not even worried about Curdy killing you anymore solo. Like, you can't really push that well, but...
Se fosse Varus de attack speed, era super rápido.
If you're just trying to distract the Aatrox, who's the most fed member on Loud, then... Yeah, you're fine. Actually, he's not really the most fed member. I'm curious if Annie or Curdy has more gold at this point.
Só dos jogadores, né? Agora, inclusive, eles vão deixar pra lá, acharam que poderia realizar mais rapidamente. Seria difícil da Loud chegar, mas de qualquer maneira era arriscado.
Oh, great charm.
Matarem um jungler. Arriscado é a vida do gato que tá por aqui. Já vem então com a paralisação completa, mesmo com
that Crescent Guard buys so much time. The Xin Zhao is a good pick here. Unfortunately, the Xin Zhao was also a good pick there, in that KBM.A picked Xin Zhao. And jungle down, no smite. This is free Baron. I think that Loud's not even going to try and contest it. They're just going to try and push instead. It's a good shout. Oh no, Loud. I just said I like that you weren't trying to contest it. No, they're gonna lose many. They're gonna lose members here. I don't think you need to send everybody after Scary, but if the Ocean has a charm. Oh, great stasis. Oh, Chains of Corruption misses. There's a chance. Yeah, you got wiped. Yeah. I respect the call from Loud to go for that. I do not think it was the right call. Like, I really genuinely think that was a mistake going in that situation. Like, Hugado wasn't up. You had no smite. It just wasn't gonna. You weren't gonna be able to steal that. Go for the mid lane push, take the turret, and back out. The worst part is Loud didn't even get the mid outer turret. They didn't even get the gold. And here too, like, just leave Balecia to die. Like, Curdy pushing up there, like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, obviously the call from Loud is, hey, we want to turn on the fight, but there's just no shot you win that. You have a numbers disadvantage. They played so well too, by the way. Like, mechanically, Sand here positioned so well. He did whatever he could while trying to output maximum damage. Like, yes, he died, and could he have left? Yes, he could have. But the call wasn't to live, the call was to do maximal damage, and Sand did that. I just don't agree with the call. And now you're down 8,000 gold into a fully sold up, burned up team who gets to basically free push. They also have really good poke with the Varus and good pick potential with the Ahri. If you eat enough poke, they just initiate with the equalizer on you. This is indefensible for Loud over long periods of time. KBM.A is just not pressuring up, and I do not know why. Like, I'm not sure what Dioj is doing. Not saying that sarcastically, like, oh, I don't know what this guy's doing, he's trolling. More like, I genuinely cannot see what he's doing on the map. I think he's laying down vision. I'm not 100% sure. I would have liked to see Dioj with the team, though, pushing this hard. I mean, it doesn't matter. They still get mid inner, and that will guarantee this mid bot inner as well.
E vai garantir também a torre da rota inferior. Power play passando de 5.000. Uma vantagem já agora bem definitiva. Será que eles ainda vão conseguir abrir um inibidor? Vem o poke aí do escuro.
Yeah, okay. We still have to, like, yeah, Baron's pretty much done. Elder's coming up in a minute. Just recall, 10k gold lead, spend it, get ready to fight. Zhonya's is up and available, Age of Night is up and available, Sterix will have a shield available. You contrast that to Loud, yeah, you got a shield for Annie. Yeah.
A KBM foi sempre dominando, teve alguns períodos que a Loud recuperou um pouco, mas nunca conseguiu de fato recuperar e ter o mando da partida, isso até demonstrado por conta de 4.
I kind of hate how, with the team name like KBM, so many of the teams either like, and they tend to be rather one-sided games a lot of times for KBM. Like either they just completely get wiped, like what happened last split in CBLOL, or they like pop off and just crush. Okay, I like that from Belisha. Great call. Really great call. Oh my goodness, how is Dioj still allowed to do that? Yeah, really well played coming through from Belisha there, recognizing and finding that engage. Problem is you're just too far behind at this point. If you were anywhere near even, that would have been huge. But KBM.A's just too far ahead, and that's just game. That's just GG. I'm not even going to call that a bad decision or whatever. Like, at that point, you're just so far behind anyways. Yeah. No, huge props to KBM.A. This game... Oh... I'm going to say this now. Like, I know it's not, like, great... For like as a caster, I won't call series over, games over, like on stream very frequently, but this is Costream and I can say it. Yeah, this is shaping up to be a massive 3-0 right now. Like not even close. KBM.A just looks so damn good. They outplayed, and then the reason why like I'm crying when I say that is not because I wanted Loud to win or anything. It's more just like I wanted a series, man. I don't want to see any 3-0s, you know, when we're down to the final 4. All the teams here are good, but KBM.A just always had so much potential. They had so much strength. And unfortunately for Loud, it's popping up now of all times. If they showed this level of strength, I think throughout the playoffs, I think KBM.A could have made top 2. Maybe even number 1, maybe. And then they wouldn't screw other teams over in the process, but yeah. Because they're doing it only now after they screwed up the very first round, they are wrecking a lot of teams on the way through the gauntlet. Yeah, no, I honestly like Loud's draft. I don't think there's anything wrong here. It's all good. Talia is a great blind. Zeri is perfectly fine, and I don't feel like the Varus like hard countered the Zeri or anything. Like, it's playable. I think Skuro just massively outplayed. Skuro is huge. The Aatrox actually won. This part didn't work out very well. But again, I think picks-wise, it's not a bad idea. Xin Zhao into Varus Rumble is a good idea, right? You can negate a lot of the damage. Yeah, again, this was not a draft issue to me whatsoever. 100% not a draft issue. And this is why, like, after game 1, I was already a bit struggling. Like, hey, what does Loud do? I honestly don't know. I don't think it's a draft issue. I don't think it's a, like, hey, we made, like, 1 or 2 bad decisions, which just horrifically backfired. It just feels like KBM.A is outplaying, and they are better today on the day by a large margin.
provavelmente
These repeated dives to the bot lane were so annoying. This is what, the third dive, I think, by this point? Level 6, level 7. I think they dived like twice before ults came through, so...
Nesse momento, tinha já vantagem
Yeah.
de dupla e chegam os dois jogadores, tanto meio como também
I think Skuro did a lot of damage this game. But I actually don't know who I'd give MVP to. I feel like Scary and Dioj both did really, really well. Crossdale's Rumble pick is really, really strong. Basically, I'd give MVP this game to anybody but Bitao, because Bitao on the Rek'Sai unfortunately did lose. Granted, it wasn't to a counter matchup, but also Bitao just didn't have as much impact as anybody else because of the isolated match and the bot lane focus. I think Dioj did well. I think Scary did really, really well with those dives. So, if I had to pick someone, I'd probably still give it to Skuro this game still. Because Crossdale did die an awful lot, and this death, or... Okay, not this one, but there was one in the mid lane where he dies for no reason. Is it this one? I thought it was this one. Yeah, right here. He just walked into that. He did not need to do that. For that reason, I would give it to Skuro rather than Crossdale. But yeah, I think Skuro Crossdale this bot lane with the Rumble is really, 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 really strong. And if you can flex a Rumble, it's giga huge. Because I already think Rumble is one of the best top laners. Still. And I think he pairs really well into just any sort of AoE CC. So if you can flex it away in the event that you do actually get one of the bad matchups, which is, again, very rare, you can always just send it to a different lane. Yeah.
Essa fight que, de novo, o Cut quase fez a diferença, conseguiu neutralizar o Dioj, mas só isso.
E tem também uma certa diferença de power spike, né, dentro do time da Kabum. De quantos itens, de quanto custa a sua itemização entre os atiradores. Isso é um tanto mais relevante, porque o Varus consegue chegar nos seus itens mais rápido, é uma itemização mais barata. Então não tem tanto trabalho assim para conseguir chegar num ponto forte.
Yeah, I really don't know what to say about the series anymore, man.
Dificulta muito. Claro, como a Tap já falou muito bem, tinha uma diferença muito relevante de ouro.
I guess this is when you kind of go with the strat that I don't really like, which is the Hail Mary early game. Like, pick something like a Kalista or a Lucian for Sant. That got real thick for some reason. Hold on, check stats. Yeah, Curdy did a great job, by the way. Curdy was like probably the first player on this Loud Academy roster that caught my eye and started standing out for me. Which is surprising when Annie was on this roster, and Annie is a player who I have previously thought did pretty well. Like, not top end of CBLOL, but really steady player. But Curdy's been the standout. I think that's fine. The big problem right now is just his bot side. Specifically, the bot lane is hemorrhaging quite badly. Skuro and Crossdale have returned to like top form. Like, they are now looking like the top two, along with like Mordius and Telas for bot laners right now. They're looking really, really, really good.
Vai ter que ser dobradinha, sabe, Ana? De novo, vai pras mãos
So yeah, I think like
simplesmente tá difícil de encarar.
they get Skuro again. Yeah, I'm down for that. Like I said, that's who I would probably pick as well. Gun to head.
Que ele acertou ali, prevendo o flash, ali ele me ganhou.
Realmente, tô com você, GSTV não poderia ser outro. Acho que a bot lane como um todo brilhou, mas o escuro, nossa, ele tá jogando bem demais, né? Realmente, já vinha se destacando cada vez mais.
Oh, yeah, I think the bot lane's the issue right now, so just slam something early game oriented for Sant and Belisha. Again, I don't necessarily think they're the best early game duo, but it's more just like if Skuro and Crossdale are just popping off and Kaboom is willing to just send resources into that bot lane and punish, then what are you going to do, right? Like, it becomes really, really hard for you to deal with. Skuro's scaling as well. His playmaking is really, really strong. We saw that in Game 1. I think he's... Game 1, he was like the single-handed big carry for that team. Whereas I think if we look at like Game 2, it was a lot of attention being sent into the bot lane to continue allowing Skuro to carry. So you have to shut down Skuro and Crossdale, whatever that takes. And I think you get an early game bot lane, you pick something like a Xinjiao Lee Sin to just try and shut down. Yeah, you don't have good scaling, but it is what it is, right? Like, you don't... Before you worry about the late game, you've got to... You've got to handle your early game before you can worry about your late game, you know? Like, you've got to get to the late game to actually have any concerns about it.
E pelas mãos de todos que querem o melhor para essa comunidade. Porque
yeah.
quando a gente abraça outros players, transformamos a nossa
That's where I think I'm at right now with the series so far and how things have played out.
É por isso que um campeão de verdade escolhe abraçar a diversidade. E isso não tem preço.
Do zero ao pro. Toda lenda precisou começar. É que pra entrar nessa rota tem que bancar a paixão. Se é pra jogar, trampar ou curtir, o Santa vai junto com você nessa. Pra você bancar o seu game até quando não estiver jogando. Mas a primeira jogada é sua. Banque seu game com o Santa.
Okay, now.
Galera, sou escuro,
Oh, Costream, Squirrel, bot lane. Man, if KBM play like this, I think they can beat Finn Gaming Academy. Quite handily, actually.
Não sei, calma.
Calma, não tem calma, acabou já.
Então, tinha 7,
Acabou já,
8 vitórias, 3 derrotas. Deu? Não deu, tio.
É 9-2.
9-2, né? Perdeu 2 só. Achei que não tinha perdido 3.
Oh, is that like the
Com a letra B.
longest?
Brown,
Oh no, that's
Bardo,
just their regular season record, right?
Blitz. Nossa, mano.
E já deu 10 segundos, mas
Acabou.
não deu tempo
Hold
também.
on, I'm gonna try and see if I can use Google Translate
Então, né?
to
Semana passada.
see these questions.
A gente tava literalmente jogando um jogo, colocando todos os campeões do LoL
Is that
na
like
cabeça.
5 teams with the letter B?
Brown, Briar, Brain,
Oh no,
Blitz,
champions.
Galvete,
Ah, okay, okay.
Ah, que fácil.
Quais foram os campeões mais picados pela KBM Academy durante a fase regular desse split?
Nautilus. Os mais picados? É quantos?
4.
Nossa.
Most played champs?
Nautilus.
Talia, probably, for Dioj?
Não sei pensar em outro.
Nautilus, Varus...
Oh, not even. Okay.
Gary?
Mas 3
Mas
jogos de Garen?
I thought he played Nautilus. Oh, I should have guessed Nautilus. I mean, Nautilus is like
Perdeu de vários, porque não é continua
the
jogando.
premier support, which I was
Esse aqui,
complaining
se
about.
você não acertar, não vai ter problema, tá? Eu tô avisando. Quais são os tipos de dragões que existem no LoL?
Infernal, Hextech... da montanha...
Something about the types of dragons that exist?
Do vento. Só? Faltou um?
Like Infernal, Ocean, Mountain,
É que eu esqueci o nome,
Hextech,
eu sei,
Chemtech,
É que tipo, você falou
Cloud.
da água, é o
Então,
Elder.
Não, é da água.
É da água?
Tá certo,
I
né?
remember screwing the guys over with the Elder Drake.
Faltou?
Faltou o Kimitech também, né?
E o Oceano.
Tu falou
Tem
Hextech e
Kimitech,
não
né,
falou...
mano?
Okay.
Kimitech.
Oh yeah, so what's the types of Drakes?
Cite 5 linhas de skin do LoL.
Oh, skin lines?
Acabou,
Porcelain? B? Definitely not whatever. The football?
Não consigo lembrar.
Fala inglês.
Skin line?
Não, em português você
Debonair?
tem Sombria.
Tem várias, né?
Acabou já esqueci. Cadê a...
Prime City? Is that a thing?
Pior que eu também não saberia.
Tem zumbi.
Oh, Pentakill and Giddy. I forgot about the music ones.
Que você não consegue dar auto-ataque com a skin zumbi. Não, é muito difícil, essa é muito difícil. Esse skin não dá pra...
Oh, the Star Guardian skins. Oh
essa
yeah,
aqui
forgot about
nem
that.
queima
So
muita cabeça, porque eu acho que é impossível tu acertar, tá?
Tá.
Quais são as 3 regiões do LoL que começam com a letra I?
Ione,
is that I or
Ilha das Sombras.
3 regions of League that start with letter I? Ionia.
De tanto meio certo, vai ter que valer uma.
What else starts with I? Ixtal
Qual que é?
Não
and
sei nem falar Istal.
hey.
Istal.
Oh, the Isle of
Quais
Shadows.
são as
Right.
runas de precisão no LoL?
Forgot about Isle.
Não,
Trying to think what the last one was.
Vai.
Tipo, tem que falar as 4 primeiras? Como é que é?
Precision, lethal, tempo,
Precisão.
fleet footwork.
amarela.
and press the attack.
Tá. Conqueror, Ritmo Fatal, o pezinho, que é o Footwork, e... tá faltando uma.
Porra, mano.
You didn't like these quizzes? I'm glad that at least I can like use Google Translate on these. Would love to hear their answers.
Não fala. Eu aceitei que eu perdi, mas não é
Figure out.
que eu não vou lembrar. Ritmo
Oh,
Fatal,
he's standing
Conqueror,
person pros.
pezinho. Qual que é?
PTA.
Nossa!
Oh, Conqueror. I forgot about Conqueror.
Tão novo assim.
There's 4, not 3. Why do I keep thinking there's 3?
PTA é um lixo, né?
Eu era mid, só jogava de mago, jogava de gato. Vou fazer o que com PTA? E eu sou suporte, como que eu vou lembrar de PTA? velho?
Joga de
Na real,
caminho
de
de
suporte é que tem mais motivo.
Considering both these guys played AD carry,
Ah, esse que você tem que acertar. É o
I would have expected them to know.
mais memorável dessa carreira, por enquanto. Quais foram os picks da KBM Academy no jogo 5,
The picks were
na final do segundo split de
in the
2023?
last split. Oh, in the grand finals of last split. Is that
Alistar e... Hell?
what they're saying?
Hell?
É uma
Esse jogo eu assisti poucas vezes.
Oh, Neela. Okay. I would not have guessed Neela. I completely forgot about that. I have terrible memory, so I genuinely will not remember historical things for the most part. And that's why I'm like always very unsure about my years as well. But I'm like, oh, I think that happened this year, maybe, probably. Hopefully. Yeah, it's just bad memory on my part.
Alguns destaques interessantes entre os 8 times classificados para os playoffs. Começando pela Rise Game, que impôs o seu jogo pela bot lane com uma pool incrivelmente baixa de hiato, que chegou até mesmo a trazer um Rumble ADC. Isso sem falar das rotações da veterana Winzy, que impactou bastante o mapa, rotacionando para ajudar a mid laner Strangers. A PEN, por outro lado, castigou as adversárias punindo as rotas laterais com a carrasca Vidal.
Okay, yeah.
E também aproveitou muito
I think right now it's looking like a trio. And if that's the case, up against Pain Gaming. Pain Gaming Academy, honestly, they look so good in the regular season, but KBM on Fire is probably the strongest team. Even K-Stars might fall to them. Because even if K-Stars wants to play macro, it's so hard to play macro into a strong team. So, yeah. A little bit unfortunate, a little bit tough. We'll have to see kind of how it goes. I mean, there's still chances. It's not like GG or anything. But the matchups are also kind of rough for Pain, because I think that the same problem will happen where it just becomes about the bot lane. Screw and Cross-L versus Marvin and Giggs. Mid lane Cats is good, but so Dioj. And if anything, it's actually even scarier for me because I think Dioj can and will play things like Acel, which will potentially kind of pinch Cat's pool a little bit. Top side, there's a chance for Yups to just like beat Bitao. Bitao, this split has not impressed me. I think he had better carry performances on Furia when Furia refused to give him carries. And the few times he got it, he played it well. But yeah, like, so far this split, Bitao really hasn't been able to pop off. And even on utility champions, he's not been performing that well either. So. Yeah. I mean, this game, but the problem is, even this game, Curdy's doing well into Bitao, and it doesn't matter, right? Like, the top side gap is not big enough to accommodate or account for the gaps elsewhere. And that's not to say, like, Curdy's not winning as hard as, say, Skuro is necessarily. It's more, I think, just the nature of the role as well, right? Like, AD carries are meant to carry. If they get a hit, they are a bigger force multiplier than any top laner. Even the likes of like Fiora and Jax, who can carry late game, will still not be as strong a multiplier as like an actual AD carry.
Relevante pra gente ver essa série se estendendo ao máximo, lembrando, as duas equipes estão ali no alerta vermelho. Quem perder aqui não participa mais dos nossos playoffs presenciais, mas quem vencer, se quiser sonhar com o título, tem que ganhar hoje, amanhã contra a PEN.
Okay. Once more into the breach, once more into the rift. Loud, can you please prove me wrong? Show me something crazy. You throw everything out the window at this point.
E olha, esse jogo, por mais que esteja 2-0, acho que sim, a Loud tem chance ainda de vir brigar, de vir pra cima, pelo menos tentar diminuir. O lado azul, eu não diria que foi um draft melhor pra eles do lado azul, mas que eu acho que principalmente...
Yeah, like just pick something whack and draft. Pocket picks. What pocket picks do Loud even have?
Eu acho que é ali que eles não podiam ter se
Olaf for Curry, yeah, I think if you want to hyper carry, that's one way to do it.
Então, mais um jogo pra fechar a série. Tem 3 oportunidades para conseguir garantir a sua vaga no dia de amanhã.
Yeah, that's honestly kind of it. I don't think Senna is that amazing. You could still play Senna. She's not weak by any means. I just don't think she's as overpowered as she used to be. I think it's not a bad pick necessarily. Senna's kind of good at just neutralizing lanes. So if you're worried that Skuro and Cross are too good, you can kind of pick a Senna lane, I guess.
Eu imagino que, mesmo sem inversão de rotas, o time da KBM deve ainda estar preocupado com esse campeão. Campeão que torna a rota superior, né? Torna esse lado do mapa praticamente inexplorável. Você não consegue punir o Sainz, não consegue tirar ele do conforto durante a fase de rotas e vai fazer a grande linha de frente depois. A KBM também não tá em podem ainda trazer Rek'Sai de novo na primeira rotação e vamos ver se eles não surpreendem mudando aí, né, a flexibilidade das escolhas que já eram flexíveis no segundo jogo.
É isso aí, na sua telinha, os picks e bans do jogo número 3 dessa série, melhor de 5. O time da Loud permanece do lado azul, a equipe da KBM fica pro lado vermelho e ouso dizer que deu muito certo.
Wait, KBM lost split. Did not have cross CL. But I guess he still, yeah. I mean, honestly, for this KBM Academy roster, I almost feel like anything but a win is kind of a loss, you know? Because they're so damn good. They're so damn strong. With the experience they have, with the names they have, really anything but first place is kind of unacceptable. Okay, Loud on blue side still, as expected. I do think the first pick is still a huge deal. I don't think counter is as big a deal for them, especially when KBM is willing to blind their tops early. Problem is for Loud, I don't know what you switch up in your bans, if anything. Do you just... So with the Zeri, with the Varus, if you ban one, I think KBM bans the other. If you don't ban both, whichever you take, I think KBM is willing to take the other side of it. So do we see a Varus ban? Actually, you know what? I don't even think KBM would just ban the Zeri. I think they just let the Zeri through anyways and just ban something else. We ban Sedge instead, okay. So we're still going to handshake Varus Zeri. We just...
A KBM ainda tem
okay.
Espaço de remoção a seu favor. Será que vão tirar alguma coisa do Kurt, por exemplo?
E aquela coisa, né, Tabs?
Do we ban Sion here? Yes. Okay. I was actually curious because I feel like giving Curdy Sion is better than giving Curdy Aatrox. Or potentially Olaf. Like if you can actually pigeonhole him into picking the Sion and then swapping, I think that's actually more beneficial for KBM. Okay, we go for Jinx here. And Kalista's up and available for the first time. Skuro, I don't think Skuro slammed that much Kalista, did he? Okay, he did play some Kalista, but he played like a huge variety of champions. Oh, notably didn't actually play Lucian. Interesting. Was Lucian permabanned against him? No, he just doesn't play Lucian. Okay. That's actually really interesting. Kalista kind of changes things up a lot too. I wasn't really expecting him to go that way because Kalista is lane dominant, but if you shut down Kalista, her impact's kind of low, mid to late. So a little bit surprised that we're going that direction with this. I think Lulu is a great pick as well. Ash was on the table as well. Both really mess up with Kalista. Poppy is on the table. Where's Dark Knight when you need him? I feel like this is... there we go. It's the Poppy hover. It's a great pick right here. The one game where Poppy's actually going to get played. Dark Knight isn't here. May he rest in peace. Ooh, okay. The Nico being hovered here could be a support Nico. Could replay it to great effect. I actually really like the Nico Kalista combo. I think I like it almost as much as I like the Renata Kalista combo. Actually more. I like it as much as I do like the Renata Kalista combo. I think they fulfill slightly different niches. So depending on whether you need peel or engage, I really like the call. That could also just be Nico mid for Dioge. I don't know why Nico just vanished off the face of competitive play for a bit. It's still a really strong champion with really good early numbers and damage. Yeah, this is already a very all-in composition from KBM. That Poppy, which I assume is going to be for Hugado, can single-handedly screw this over. I feel like if Loud win this game, it will be Hugado MVP. That's my prediction right now. Okay, and then Loud's also being aware of a potential Nocturne Ori combo. I like the shout. Recognize that this could be a support. So, potentially jungle mid. Or support. Well, I cannot write with my mouse. I think my sensitivity is a bit high. And then on this side, we're probably looking for top mid. Potentially jungle, but I would hate to see this Poppy being flexed up. Because I think you give a carry to Curdy here. Okay, we ban Ari, yeah, makes sense. I think Ari and Talia are probably the most blindable mids. Zier, Talia, Ari are the most blindable mids in that order. And then Asol. Because Asol does have some tough matchups. Okay, we go skilling with that. We have to blind our top. Or actually, no, we're playing into the Rex side most likely, I think.
vai fazer valer, sim, senhor. Tem
I guess technically top could also be an option here, but I'm assuming that's Rek'Sai top.
Quem tá sendo exibido agora é o mano Udyr.
Actually, yeah. You know what? Because of these sort of flexes that came through, it does make it a little bit hard for Loud to figure out what they want to do. So they just go with the blind Udyr. Not a fan. I think give Curdy something they can carry. That's fine though, because Udyr is still going to be great frontline for the Jinx and Hui. There's really good skill on the side of Loud, and you do need a bridge. So Udyr is a good bridge. Yep, support Nico it is. Okay, KBM.A is kind of again for very early game. This is early. This is early. This is early. And Rek'Sai is, I'd say mid-game. Okay, I'm gonna not bother screenshotting the draft and praying that I don't regret it, because I do suspect this might be a 3-0. That's it. If Loud can survive the early game, they'll be fine. The big problem I have with this is that they're not great picks to survive the early game, unfortunately. Poppy can do a surprising amount of damage early, but she's not the type of jungler who can like solo carry an early game, you know? Like she's not like a Lee Sin or Xin Zhao who can really mess up early games. She's more like an opportunistic ganker, and I fear that when I look at the lanes, there is no lane for her to gank early. Wei needs time to scale against the Nico. Like there's maybe if you outplay, maybe. Or not Nico, sorry, against Atilia. There is a world in which Hui can like poke her out early. If they're trading very heavily, maybe there's an opportunity. Okay, as counterintuitive as it might sound, I think KBM.A have a great early game composition, and they're looking to play fast. Loud have a great late game composition, but they need to play fast. Like they need to be trading heavily in lanes to try and set up ganks for Hugado. If not, I think they're just gonna get pounded into dust again. And I think there's a very real world in which I think that the game plan for KBM.A is to play for Drake stacking again. Try and rush those Drake stacks as fast as possible. Play for the bot lane. Skuro is popping off this series. He's already won 2 MVPs. I think he can sweep all 3 potentially with this Kalista pick.
É isso, meus caros invocadores. Você aí torça com a gente, vem empurrar imediatamente o CBLOL Academy. Estamos chegando, então vocês estão prontos, invocadores? Boas-vindas de volta a Summoner's Rift.
É isso, a torcida empurra o time da Loud, vão tentar ainda sobreviver nessa série.
Once more into the Rift, let's go.
2-0 do time da KBM.A.
Top side, I think Curdy should be able to curb stomp the Rek'Sai. Udyr, I think, is a pretty good matchup into Rek'Sai. So that should go their way at least. I don't know if you can capitalize on it. I don't think it's really gankable. I think it just becomes one of those proxy situations where like Udyr's behind your turret farming. But Rek'Sai can proxy too, so when 2 proxy style top laners go at it, it's just they both kind of proxy. And again, I don't think Poppy ganks into top lane are going to be particularly effective. It's got to be bot side ganks or mid lane ganks. Bot's probably easier to pull off than mid. Maybe. Actually, no, that's not true. Yeah, but I think Hugado just bouncing mid bot. But Scary's going to be looking for the same thing. And again, Steadfast Presence is going to be absolutely massive. There's so many things that get stopped by it. Like Scary's going to get screwed by it. Batal could potentially get screwed by it. Skuro and Crosstail both get screwed by it. Conditionally, Dio, I think when you're surfing, you actually get blocked by Steadfast Presence. So, oh, interesting. Okay, I really like this call from Loud. I really like this. Because your Jinx, Lulu, was going to struggle into the Kalista Nico. So you have actually lane swapped it. And Udyr is good at the lane swap hold as well. Especially, I feel like, into Kalista Nico, you can wave clear, I think, fairly safely as the Udyr. So not safely, but you can still potentially play safe and just wave clear. So I really like this call from Loud. I completely forgot about it because the silent interests were all banned, but yeah, this is a good lane swap. This I like. And Kalista's not the greatest at trying to punish and maximize on the other side as well.
junto das
She's not
duplas de
bad, but she's
rota
not like amazing
inferior
at it.
e
So
estão machucando as torres. A gente vê como essa torre aqui não tem interferência, né? No primeiro jogo tinha o Sion se matando para tentar quebrar as ondas de Minions, dessa vez não tem interferência.
A gente vê vários tipos
yeah, they're just
de
trying to cut the wave,
inversões, né? Por exemplo, nessa série, quando os top laners ficam, quando a bot lane não acompanha, e agora sim, como você falou, já
I will say though, I'm not sure I really like the fact that
na
we're
parte
seeing all of
superior
these
do
three
mapa,
hover
da
down
Loud,
here.
quatro jogadores da parte inferior do
There's a
mapa
trick you can do
da
as well,
Kabum, vão pegando
because
barricadas
if you don't hit the
disruptivas,
turret
então é
and you leave the range of
que
the
vai
turret,
ficar
you don't get the
acumulado
plating gold.
nas
So then
mãos
Vital
do
could set himself further
jogador,
behind to
de qualquer
accelerate
maneira,
Skuro,
é
and I think I
vantagem
prefer
inicial,
that personally.
nesse caso, pros dois times.
É aquela coisa que eu até tinha comentado no draft, até no draft do jogo 1, né?
Yeah, it's already 2 plates down compared to 1 plate.
Conseguem utilizar bastante aí das suas habilidades.
Curdy has now
bastante
rotated into the bot
velocidade de
lane.
ataque pra conseguir danificar muito as torres,
Yeah, they
mas
tanked, I
a
think, a
torre
bit
da
too much
bot
damage
superior,
playing with
sempre
minions.
bom lembrar,
They were trying to
mais
optimize this so it's faster
resistente nos
for
minutos
Skuro to take
iniciais
it.
do que a torre
Like,
da
if you
bot
get them all
superior.
low,
Então,
set them
mesmo
up so
tendo
one
essa
spear takes all of
dupla
them
mais
out, sort of
forte
deal.
pra machucar a torre,
That's the idea.
a Loud
But you're
já
tanking
tá
minions the entire
atrás
time.
comparado com a Kabum.
E a gente tem então já ligado esse fantasma do Kurt, tá
Oh,
aí, Kabum tá sendo incendiado.
Curdy
Vai tentar
should
segurar
die
já,
here.
então esse dano total
Oh.
ainda não foi eliminado. Meu Deus do céu!
There we go. First blood onto Scary.
Nas mãos da Kabum,
Not ideal, but
quase que o Scary vai de
yeah.
brinde.
I mean, they barely ignited everything already. Because Scary ends up tanking the extra shot as well, they can't really go for the repeat dive onto this, like what we've seen in past games with that Sion.
Pouquíssima vida, então foi facilmente abatido e vai de novo pro combate.
Or can they? I was wrong, my bad. Okay. Execute onto Gracial. Okay. So, yeah, they couldn't quite pull off the flawless dive, but that's still pretty darn good, the way they played it out.
Uma diferença bem
Gracial
grande
doesn't even
de
give a kill over.
velocidade,
Curdy doesn't get experience for that.
Destruída a torre, então lá na rota inferior, inclusive uma placa de barricada a mais.
Yeah, so Kaboom again come out ahead in the lane swap scenario.
Que não adianta de nada pro time da Loud.
Yeah, really well played from them. Again, Kaboom does look so much more practiced and polished with how they're playing this.
Diminuir um pouquinho as tropas, até porque ele não precisa. A torre dele já é mais resistente.
E é delicada essa posição dos top laners, né? Entender o que eles fazem agora. Começaram formando com os seus caçadores, sabiam que não iam ter muito espaço nas suas lanes de ofício, mas aí eles precisam voltar em algum momento. E aí, nesse momento da volta, o Kurt foi punido 2 vezes.
Yeah, I don't know if there's really much Gracial could have done there. Like, he could have flashed, I guess, but not worth it. Again, it's an execute, so it's still really well played coming through from Kaboom.
Mais de vantagem de ouro nesses menos de 5 minutos que a gente já tem na partida.
E quem tá mais destacado em questão de ouro dessa vez é o Scary, não é a rota inferior, não é nem Escuro, nem o Crashel, justamente o caçador que pode aparecer na rota do meio. Tentou ser usado ali o Crashel, mas ele tava até que ligado ali, saiu da habilidade.
N que inclusive fez o primeiro retorno mais cedo em relação ao
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. The Udyr actually doing pretty well in this sort of lane swap scenario. You can see he just throws up the R and kind of walks away. Then you're able to kind of hold the wave. Yeah, pretty good spot. 5 minutes. We are on patch 4.16 or 4.16. Yeah, 14.6. There we go. Got it backwards a sec. Something's wrong with what I'm saying.
Ele vai tentando sustentar um pouquinho mais, só que não tem jeito. Dessa vez a eliminação fica
Gracial takes 2 shots again.
que de novo
So Dragon and Grub spawn at the same time. Void Grub's being taken on spawn by Hugado. I'd love to see Kaboom kind of do the same for Dragons. I still think Dragon stacking is the most important thing, but they are trying to rush the first turret right now. First brick, they want that.
Ainda mais se ela tiver onda de minions para favorecer tanto a movimentação como também o reset do seu E. E o Escuro demonstrou isso muito bem, já tinha machucado muito.
Loud might be able to get first brick.
Provavelmente a equipe da Kabum vai conseguir essa demolição.
See, this is when... Yeah, they actually get first brick.
Lá em cima vem pra avançar.
Yeah. Okay, well played from Loud. That situation is when I wish they'd use the split screen. You know, like how they had the sort of all lane screens where they had like 3 different lanes being shown at the same time. I actually didn't like that. Like, I thought the concept was cool, but I just don't see when we'd ever use that. And they just show the laning. I don't care about the laning. I want to see the minimap most of the time. So I wish they'd use that split screen when we're seeing like that sort of first brick race between 2 teams. That's the best time to show that. So good on Loud that they get first break. That's actually kind of key. In game 1, they lost out like every single advantage. They lost Dragon. They lost first brick. I think they also lost Void Grubs. It was just... Oh no, I think they got Dragon and lost Void Grubs. It was kind of rough for them. This time at least they get a bit more gold into Sant, which is kind of important. Because he is the skilling. He's one of the 2 big skillers of this team, right? Sustain damage and all that jazz. But Kaboom do pick up early Dragon. I think that's worth it for Kaboom. I still think the Dragon stacking is the biggest key. When you've got a Kalista, you should just never lose a single Dragon, and you want to speed this up as much as possible. They still get the gold as well from plate, so it's not that big a deal that they lost first break.
pouco atrás do
And you can see
Escuro
Santa
em relação a
Ballista still
esse
can't play this
gold.
lane, so.
Ele tá conseguindo farmar bem, só que a Jinx ainda tá mais à frente. O quesito eliminação fez muita diferença, sim, para as mãos dessa Kalista. Tendo o Crashel ao seu lado, fica muito mais fácil
Santa
de
taking a bit of
pokear.
poke.
Olha isso, já perdeu um terço
Oh,
da
Curry's
vida
still
do
down
Sandy.
here.
Não podia
I thought that was
ser
Fugado at
desse
first.
jeito, ser machucado assim, mas ainda tem o
Because with the
Giro
base recall
aqui, né, que tá
animation, couldn't see nameplates.
arbusto, pegando um pouquinho de experiência que o Giro do Kurt. O Gato tá fazendo sua própria selva, ele que já tá nível 6. A gente vai ter o próximo objetivo só daqui a 3 minutos.
Level 6s will be really interesting as well.
Respira um pouquinho lá na rota superior.
Jinx level
Vai
6
conseguir levar
really
duas
doesn't feel that
placas de
as
barricada, tá
impactful in
bem
a
à
skirmish
frente do
situation,
Fábio também,
so
comparado ao Kurt.
if Squirrel can hit
Ai,
6,
ai, hein, tá ficando
and
cada
the
vez
supports are
mais
behind.
difícil da gente acompanhar
Yeah, once you hit
essas
6, there's an all-in
movimentações do
threat
time da
potential.
Loud.
That's
Vai
why
pra
Fugado was
backfight
not
pra
hovering
tentar
here,
um proxy,
and
mas
Curdy
o
was
Curry tá
hovering
logo ali,
prior.
tá em desvantagem
And
de
that gave
experiência.
Bitao 2 free
Talvez
plates in top
poderia
lane.
daqui a pouco
That's
fazer uma
actually
leva de
kind of big.
vacilar,
And
mas
Curdy is like
pode
super
ser
far
que o
behind.
Loud busque
Again,
seis.
okay,
Só
game
quer
1,
buscar
Inting
só
Sion, I was
dois,
joking about that
reclamar de
and saying
fato
that,
que
okay, that's like a
recuperar
loud
ponto
strat,
do
that's viable, that's
prejuízo
fine, that's
que ele
okay.
sofreu.
But
Tem
this game,
resistência,
like going
ele
0
pouco de
3 for no
armadura, mas
reason
ainda
was
é
kind of
pouco,
not great.
né? Comparado
And it
com o que a
really
equipe da Kabum já conseguiu
felt like for no reason.
controlar até
Like Bitao
então.
was holding
Esse
top
momento
right
é um
without
ponto
dying,
mais
whereas
morto
Curdy died
da
trying to hold.
partida, as
It
equipes
gets you
vão
first break, I
farmando,
guess,
o
but
Gato
it's
pode
one of the reasons
puxar o
why
tanque aqui pra cima do
Squirrel
Betão,
is still
vamos ver se
ahead,
isso vai
even when
acontecer.
CS was
Já
kind of
inicia,
equal.
coloca então toda a sua pressão pra jogo, olha o túnel
Oh,
pra impedir,
really
jogada
nice
na
position
parede,
from Fugado.
completamente pressionado, de novo escapa com tranquilidade Betão, mas o fantasma ativo do
There's no other
Clutch
turrets,
faz a
Bitao can't
diferença,
run,
ele
no flash
consegue.
either.
Esse
Really
abraço e
nicely
a
played.
ult não é utilizada, é eliminação pra Loud.
Uma decisão do Betão que se colocou muito à frente e não imaginava.
Loud will
Eu
not
acredito
go
que o
quietly
Gato
into that good
estaria
night.
ali naquele
And you love
momento
to
e o
see it.
Gato que mandou muito bem, esperou do outro lado da parede, Rek'Sai passar pelo túnel, aí sim a Pop ativou seu W, travou a movimentação do Betão e aí
Despite the fact that Fugado gets good gank off,
É bastante
Kaboom
dano rápido,
had
inclusive,
better
ainda pra
sort
cima
of
do
lane
Betão,
assignments
ele
earlier
acaba
though,
bastante
because
tempo
Bitao actually gets the
nessas
2
fases de
plates.
rotas. A gente vê
Whereas by
agora
the time
uma
Curry
movimentação
moves
do
up here,
time da
there's nothing to
Kabum,
get,
não
and because
quer
Squirrel and
deixar
Crossdale were
a
defending
Loud
that
ter
turret better,
acesso aí a safe
they're still hitting
vacilar,
plates.
então eles não podem deixar
That kills what,
barato
300
essa
gold?
movimentação
The
no
plates,
topo,
what, 160?
e
So
se tomar o cataclismo não vai pra lugar nenhum, hein?
Ai, meu querido,
2 plates
já
is still
começa
worth
a
it.
movimentar o Cut,
Okay.
não vai ter como sair, já tá chegando
And
no
Curdy dies
final
again.
pra trazer a
And even worse,
finalização.
Curdy's
Ele
gold got
sustenta
reset by
por
that
alguns
kill.
instantes, as lanças são
So
estacadas
Squirrel
no
gets full
escuro.
kill gold this time.
Finaliza mais uma vez, tá com 100% de participação de abates, essa Kalista.
They're paying
É
for
o
bot lane,
jogo mais
but I don't know if they can
divertido
dive
que o
this.
Jarvan tem, né? Você gankar um dia,
Actually,
só tem
with the
que
Lulu, I
ser
think you can.
raso,
The
então
shield
você
and wall growth should be enough.
simplesmente ulta na
No
cara
wall growth
dele,
just yet.
deixa o seu time causar o dano.
I think a lot of it
Mesmo,
will come down to this rocket from
ficando
Sant to be
preso
actually
junto com
able
ele,
to
não
finish
é
off on the
período
turret.
dentro do jogo que o Jiro vai conseguir incomodar
Because Bitao
muito
is 6 as well, so he can kind of dodge things out with the ult.
Tem agora também o nascimento das
That's one of the big
vaciladas,
uses
e
of
a Loud
the
vai
right
tentar
side.
responder lá na rota em
Bitao is
cima,
taking
que
so
ainda
much
tem
damage up
pra
front though.
Aqui embaixo, o Gato já tentando trazer esse
I mean,
apoio
yes,
da
you're
bot
healing,
lane.
but it's still kind of
As
like
vaciladas
rough.
estão sendo conquistadas, e olha só, florescer
Oh no, that was
repentino,
really
consegue
not great
segurar,
from
e com o
Kaboom.
chamado do destino, Crashiel é evitado de perder a vida, olha a divisão novamente.
Yeah, they
Escuro,
messed up that dive
danificado.
pretty badly.
Cut por acerto,
Okay, they still get it,
agora
never mind.
sim, nas mãos da Camaleoa.
No último momento, o Cut foi eliminado.
Oh, good
bem,
block from
porque
Scary.
o míssil
Really good block.
interceptado pelo Scary.
I think that was a call out
Foi
from bot side,
complicada essa
because
jogada da
yeah,
Kabum
that was a
com
really good
Asma,
reaction
tá
from Scary.
bastante errado e pode
KTP
dar
behind.
aí, porque lá vem o
Who is it?
teleporte.
Teleporte
It's
do
Curdy.
Kurt, que tá chegando calmamente pra cima dos adversários. Já foca o atirador escuro. Começa a se
Oh,
movimentar
really
e
nice kiting from
consegue
Squirrel
sim
there.
escapar. Ótimo
You burn
avanço
flash,
esse
it's
ataque
worth.
comercial. Meus
100% worth.
amigos,
You already got
quase
turret too.
caiu tudo
And you
por
don't
água
die.
abaixo do time da Kabum.
Eu achei ainda que o Scary ia chegar pra cobrar, o Kurt foi pra cima e o Scary vai gankar. Kurt!
Novamente, agora o Kurt sendo fechado por 3
Oh,
jogadores.
and they get onto Squirrel. Oh my goodness.
Está em killing
That's
spree,
beautiful.
tranquilinho.
Also, I didn't talk about the 2 kills that went across the hill, but it's okay because you're a Nico, so getting gold is good. It increases your damage and enables more dies and poke like this. Yeah, that's just really well played from Kaboom right now. Kaboom is just running away. Again, these lane swaps are not working in favor of Loud. I understand why we're doing it to protect the Jinx, but it's just not good. Like, we are accelerating the game in favor of Kaboom right now.
O que o top laner faz nessa situação de swap é contornaram muito bem
Aware,
no começo,
this
mas
is
aí
like the
quando
very
começou
start of
a
this.
ir
Curdy
pra
dies
rota,
like
o Kurt sofreu demais, diversos
twice,
dives,
at least,
sendo
in this
sempre
series of
abatido.
events.
E aí,
Yeah,
quando ele
twice.
voltou no teleporte, que realmente parecia
He
que
tried
ele
to TP
conseguiria
behind.
o abate, a Kalista, ela é muito cruel nesse ponto com esses campeões meio cavernosos, assim, que só andam pra frente, como
Fast
é o
forward.
caso do Di.
Thank you.
Porque ela vai caetando, vai pulando, vai conseguindo estacar suas lanças e aí
And then TP
causa
here.
bastante
dano quando explode no seu E.
Oh,
Então,
3
foi-
times. He
dá
actually
pra
did die
ver
3
essa coisa
times.
de 3 mortes, né, do Kurt.
Nosso Spectre aí mostrando a sequência, né? Como inclusive foi rápido, né? Foram jogadas uma atrás da outra. Eu tinha falado que eram 2 eliminações, mas foram 3, né? Com aquela ultimate.
Dragon's probably being done right now. Or I'd love to see KBM actually rotate for this while that's happening. Oh, so it's a double TP cooldown at first. Okay, that's what happened. I was thinking Curdy feels like... Okay, I understand that Curdy was going for that play. I actually don't think it was a terrible play, even solo. He forced the flash out of Skuro. But it makes way more sense if that turns out to actually have been like a double TP call. Militia has to burn. Okay, Dragon's already down, so it doesn't matter. I think he has to burn Walk Growth. You can't contest with Dragon. But Dragon got taken during the replay. KBM.A stacking still as fast as they can, which is the right win con.
O começo do jogo que teve essa inversão, né? A gente teve os dois lados levando as duas laterais.
And he's dead because you flashed.
Nhau pra cima do N, vai tentar sustentar esse duelo, já coloca então um desespero vertiginoso pra explodir. E dois jogadores não faz a diferença.
Yeah, scary. I don't know if he didn't have the flag and drag or he just held it that long, but Cataclysm's still in pocket too. So now he can still make a play somewhere else. Loud is kind of scrambling and falling apart right now in this part of the game. That's not ideal.
Em torno da rota inferior e também um pouquinho nas mãos do Scary, né, do caçador. Agora começa a ser distribuída pro resto do mapa.
Part of the lane swap, like we talked about, a lot of it's decision making. For lane swaps and how you want to pull it off. And because the game accelerated that quickly, the problem now is about where you send your mid laners, right? And Hui, unfortunately, is not one of the safer mid laners. Talia doesn't have like escapes necessarily, but she's got Weaver's Wall to be able to hop out of situations if she can see them coming. Hui literally doesn't have that. So you saw when Hui was pushed out like all the way up here, there's just no way out, right? Like you see Vitao going for you, you burn a flash, but then what? There's so much mobility and there's so much catch potential on the other side. If it's not scary, it could have been Dioj coming in, right? If it was Crosstail or Skuro, you're still in trouble. So there's no safe lane for Annie to go to. There's no safe lane for Sant to go to. So only one person can play this short safe lane. And unfortunately, right now it's Sant because they want to get Sant ahead. If Hui is fed enough, you can maybe try and split push like that because you've got enough damage to threaten most people 1v1. But right now, only Curdy can split push. Or not split push, but can go to a long lane. So yeah, that's the problem for Loud and why I really don't like these lane swap shenanigans when you're going to fall so far behind in them. Normally, Skuro should have fallen behind, but no, Skuro's doing perfectly well. It's accelerated up 1.1k gold. Sant didn't fall behind, which is good, I guess. But if your opposing AD carry is still up ahead, you're roughly in the same situation. And now KBM.A got second set of Void Grubs plus Herald. They can just crack mid lane with that. And again, once it becomes hyperextended, it's still the safest lane to put Sant into, but you're just getting less and less places to farm for Annie and Sant. You're at 1 item. You need, I'd argue, 2 items at least. For Jinx, preferably 3. You're just so far away from where you need to be from Loud. Yeah, and as for the Kalista, Blade of the Rune King is already a good spike for trading and fighting. Once you pick up Quintu's Rage Blade as well, it's even better. You're also really good at taking these objectives really quickly. I wouldn't necessarily say like you can Baron at 20, but well, we've seen KBM.A sneak Barons before in situations where they probably shouldn't have been able to.
Vem também o Anime-se, ela consegue crescer muito durante a luta. A Loud tem que tentar encontrar esse primeiro alvo. Garantir uma primeira eliminação de uma maneira rápida para dar um Anime-se para Jinx, para permitir que com todos os buffs ela seja a causadora de dano que eles precisam no time.
É isso, cada vez mais claro o caminhar que o time da Loud tem que assumir. Mas por enquanto só teve uma eliminação.
On KBM.A to accelerate game. We saw this last game too. They like to play for just dragons and just stacking. This is going to be Mountain Drake this time, not the Ocean, so it's not going to feel quite as overwhelming. You can cut through Mountain. But the problem is what time you get Mountain. If you get Mountain early enough and you're ahead enough, then it feels insurmountable. Because that won't be in a position. But once you pick up LDR for Sant and probably Crypt Bloom, I suspect, for Annie here. Over Void Staff. I think it's better for Hui to get Crypt Bloom. You want more spell rotations. Then the Mountain feels less insurmountable. It's still going to feel really strong, but yeah, it's not like going to be Ocean levels. Or Inferno levels, either. Yeah, Vitao had a much better time in the early game, so normally, like, it's really tough to play into here, but it's still playable. Oh, Skuro got chunked. Rocket? Do we see Rocket? No Rocket? Okay. Wow, I don't know how Skuro got caught, but that was massive. I think crit just came through. Like, Sant got a crit or two. This is actually giga huge if you can stop the Dragon stacking. Dioj has TP.
tá com o Dioge na parte
So how far ahead is
superior do mapa,
Kaboom?
ele tem
Can they hold
teleporte, então ele
3v5?
pode chegar. Aqui embaixo,
Eles vão
cabeçada
guivar.
tranquilinha, vai ter que cair essa torre, sim senhor, porque o dragão já tá sendo focado, o Betão
Okay,
querendo fazer
TP.
estrago, são duas torres
Or if they get wiped here,
abertas,
even if they get
agora
Dragon, it's
no
not
meio
worth
de
it.
hoje, e vai cair nas mãos do time da Loud, mas ainda assim, punição imediata pra cima, olha a ult!
Oh, Sat lives.
Tá animado, e agora a fight pode virar a favor do time da
Oh,
Loud.
Crosshair is gonna die.
A ultimate do Dioge vem a pedrada, é muito sincera.
Oh, but they bought time. They bought space, and they're getting wiped. Great set pass presence from Hugado. Is it enough? Oh, Skuro.
Respira, torcedor. A fight vai e a fight
Okay,
volta.
Herald also went down.
Olha,
So,
eu achei
honestly,
injusto
for
capaz de
Loud,
guivar, porque eles
what is that?
levaram a torre do
A
meio, levaram a torre do topo a T2,
3
e tava
for the
tranquilo
Militia
pra
live? I think
eles
the
só
Militia went down.
deixarem o
3
dragão
for
pro time
2?
da Loud. Mas o momento pra eles é tão bom,
I
a moral
lost track
tá
how many people
tão lá
dropped.
no alto, que eles não querem deixar nada de graça. Eles vêm pra cobrar o time da Loud. E que jogadaça
Oh, we took
que
the
fez o
Herald into the
Dioge.
fight. Okay.
Jogou bem demais, não é à toa
I don't
que
hate the
a
call.
Thalia é campeã, que ele tá com 100
Well, I hate the call because they missed.
até então no-
Scary, bro. Driver's license. Come on.
Tá aí, né? Mostrou bastante
Yeah, so it ends up being a 3 for 2, I think. Or 3, yeah. Crosshair went down. So not the worst situation for Loud. I think the biggest thing is they stopped the dragon stacking. Like, this is huge. Like, this is super, super big that they stopped the dragon stacking. Because Loud wanted to accelerate. Like, sure, Skuro got another kill and whatnot, but so did Sant. And kill for kill, Jinx is probably more worth it. Okay, let's see what that means for Kaboom. Because Kaboom did get a lot too. They got an inner top and they got mid outer. I'm gonna be honest, I prefer the dragon stacking because I think turrets are easier to take anyways later on in the game, and you can take it after you get Baron. It's just freestanding gold. Outer turrets are indefensible against Baron if you're anywhere near even in gold. So yeah, I don't know if that's the right call, but it started by Skuro kind of getting chunked really heavily by Sant. So like it or not, that's just them's the breaks.
Pra eles realizarem. A equipe da Loud então tem que ficar ligada nessas várias fontes, né, que a equipe da Kabum pode realizar. Tem que ficar ligada agora no Covil.
Baron coming up in a minute, you can already see Kaboom kind of congregating around it. I think they're going to try and threaten it as much as possible. Again, not sure they can actually do it, but yeah. The idea is just try and force the fight as much as possible. Tao with the cloak already is starting to be able to ignore the Udyr because you've got magic resist.
Bora que bora, lá embaixo, o Betão querendo construir uma estação.
Yeah, if they get Baron, this is good for Kaboom because then they can actually threaten split push at this point. Like, Udyr still got decent wave clear, but against Baron, not so great.
E o Kush teve que resetar porque realmente não tá fácil brigar contra a Rek'Sai.
É, ele consegue até fazer frente ali, empurrar a rota, mas a Rek'Sai tá sempre com mais vida, né? A Rek'Sai é uma campeã muito...
Baron has spawned. Look at Kaboom. They're already moving here. Like, right away. Almost, like, on the dot. They're there within 5 seconds of it spawning. Again, they're not looking for Baron. They're looking to try and get the pick. And it's more trying to pressure Loud. Oh, with the kill Hugado, this is so good for them. Okay, yeah. Wait, no, Hugado lived! Okay. Yeah. Hugado's steadfast presence is the biggest problem. Now Skuro gets to just jump in and free fire. Oh, Skuro hit a minion, I think. That's fine. You got 2 picks. You got 3 picks. I didn't even see Sant go down. Damn. Okay. Yeah. I was so focused on Hugado, I didn't even see Sant go down. No Hugado, no smite steal, no Sant, no way they fight. Annie can be annoying, but you're not at the point where you're like, ripping through everybody yet. Okay, so now Kaboom accelerate the game, the pace of the game again, which they needed. Loud, Annie and Sant specifically still have pretty decent wave clear. It's more about the potential split push threat that Vitalo can put down now, because nobody can stop him. And if the minions are buffed up, it's hard to clear them in his face as well. It's going to be a slow push if it relies on that, but yeah. Oh. Hugado. So many times I thought Hugado should have died, but like right here, didn't die. Walks away, didn't die. Scary actually has to blow Cataclysm to catch him. That's not ideal. It doesn't matter. Kaboom doesn't lose anybody, so it's okay. And Sant was off on the side and got caught. Okay, this turret's actually kind of hard to defend because they already took down both the inner turrets. So there's a potential for flank from the back. Again, it's Fugado. If Fugado's around, that flank is really scary. If they can somehow force Fugado back, or out of position, or get Fugado out of position to defend, then this becomes easy take. But you can already see just the threat of them walking up right now is huge. Like Sant can't actually step out the way clear. Oh my goodness, Curdy. Curdy got completely screwed by the way in swap, man. They did manage to burn Seeker's arm guard at least from Castiel, so the engage from Castiel will be a bit weaker. Weaker isn't useless though, and we've seen Castiel is more than willing to die for his team if it makes the play happen. Oh, and he just barely able to survive there. It's kind of low though. No flash for Scary, or else I think they just look for the super long range engage. Dioj had to flash. Nice play from... Nice defensive play from Loud. There's still TP from Dioj though, so the push doesn't have to stop here. Yeah, there we go. You're just maximizing Baron. Dragon's up, but I appreciate the call from Kaboom. Like, you already missed one Dragon. The maximizing Baron's probably the better call here. As I say that, Scary is already rotating for Dragon. But hey, again, the split push from Patao is good. Yeah, Scary came back. Okay, they didn't try and set up the Dragon. Oh, that wet noodle fight up top. Curdy's not taking damage either, weirdly enough. Okay, they broke it. Curdy's in trouble now. Yeah, Curdy has to back off. Because you're worried about the potential flanking from the side. Oh, Scary gets out. Oh. That was kind of close. They can still get Dragon, by the way, on the way out. Okay, Scary base. That's fine. They don't want to throw. I think Skuro's just soloing it right now. Vão capitalizar o seu ouro, vão pegar mais itens, vão voltar mais fortes e vão fazer também dragão tranquilo, porque tá só o escuro ali com um pouquinho de proteção do Dioj. Parece o Caetano. Mas não precisa, né? Tá muito forte. Yeah, Scary doesn't even get there in time.
Ele tá tranquilo, conseguiram levar a torre da rota inferior, a torre do meio sobrevive por pouquinho.
Okay, 10k gold advantage, Dragon stacking as well. I think Kaboom could just end it before next Drake actually even spawns, if they want to try and play this aggressively. Because they've got an exposed inhib, that inhibitor turret's really, really low. It's really easy to just kind of take that one, so yeah. Like they're just in a really good position in general, Kaboom. You know what, I'll say it, I don't care if I Casa Curse this, because if I Casa Curse it, then we get a series and we get more games. Kaboom shouldn't be able to lose from this position. Like generally, even if they tried to throw, I guess it's doable, there's a Jinx on the other side, but it's kind of hard to throw, to be honest. Terminus picked up as well for Skuru right now, so the attack speed is going to be through the roof right now. Yeah, they should just be pushing in for this inhibitor. Once they take the inhibitor, then they can siege up much more effectively in the other lanes. But they're playing this slow. They're doing the 4-1 instead of just 5-manning bot. If you 5-man bot and screw up, it's GG. If you go 4-1, you create more opportunities for yourself. Especially since Vital can get over that wall fairly easily. He's just ignoring Annie though. Yeah, now you got 2 exposed inhibitors. It's faster rotation within your base. You can move basically as fast as Loud can move back and forth. The only problem for Kaboom is they don't have good poke. If they had good poke, they'd just crush this. But without the good poke, Annie's poke is more effective, and Sant is also able to kind of rain down damage from longer range. Okay, so the thing with that push as well is once the inhibitor turrets go down, the problem is if you're not willing to full commit into the inhibitors, it's actually really tough to get in there and do damage. The wave clear we mentioned before from Hoi and Jinx is pretty good. They struggle against Baron at earlier points because they didn't have enough items. But against regular minions, the wave clear is strong. So for Kaboom, you just take the inhibitor turrets. If you're willing to hard commit, you can just end the game. If you're not willing to hard commit, then you just wait for Baron instead and you play for Baron on open ground. Again, you're over 10k, like 11.5k gold lead right now. That is not something Loud can match up to. And it's reflecting in the items. You're about a full item up almost every single roll.
Nesse espaço dos túneis, mas não tanto da questão do Rio. Agora, com o Aronguejo ao seu dispor, já inicia o Barão que mal nasceu e já tá indo de
Yeah,
volta
you can
pro
see that
raio.
Loud aren't even looking at this. They can't. They know it. They recognize it. Good call. If you lose here, you die. Yeah, I guess GG. The problem is if you don't lose here, it's still kind of GG, because now you've got Baron minions coming in from multiple directions. Kaboom's just going to 4-1 you. Again.
Já vão ter que se defender de novo, porque lá vem a Kabum marchando. A Kabum que parece que tá alguns 5 passos à frente da Loud nesse quesito, mas de novo vão caminhar agora pelo topo, que ainda
Good push out though. They'll probably 4-1 through mid, just because bot side got pushed out. It takes too long to reset that.
A presença deles no dia de amanhã para jogar mais uma série aqui no nosso CBLOL Academy, se manter
Oh no! Wolves reset on Scary.
Com nível individual de fato muito alto, eles mostraram agora também uma rotação.
Oh, interesting. They didn't try to defend that.
Saíram da rota inferior, chegaram no barão com ele nascendo, garantiram o bônus.
Oh, by the way, this was a really good push out. I don't know if this was intentional from Sant. I'm going to assume it was. But it will keep pushing. So it doesn't just like equalize and then bounce back. Like this will have to hit the turret, I think, before it actually bounces back. Okay, Weaver's wall comes out a little bit awkwardly. Not the ideal placement. I actually think it stops Kaboom getting in there more than it stopped Loud, but oh well. It's not a big deal. Like there's no downside to it. There's just no upside.
Mais ataque, olha o dano que ele causa. O inibidor tá no chão.
É isso, então teremos Super Minions adentrando a base do time da Loud pelo
Oh, I'm wrong. It actually bounced back? Okay. I misread that wave. From the minimap, I thought there was a bigger blue stack, so I thought it was just going to keep pushing. But no. It's actually starting to bounce back. I mean, it's a very slow bounce. It still won't get there in time unless somebody actually goes to help out.
Limpa a onda de minions aqui na base, então a onda de minions dele agora tá
Nope, I'm just cursing myself. It will actually get there. That wave is pushing way faster than I thought it would. What is in that wave?
Mas enquanto isso a Loud não se dá por vencido.
It's gonna hit it, crashes a triple. Okay.
Defendendo do jeito que eles podem. Vai ter esse dragão daqui a 10 segundinhos. Será que a Kabum vai?
I mean, that's Batao, so Batao's not taking that much damage, but it looks bad.
Não devem sair da base do time da Loud.
É isso, Libam mais um inibidor agora. A parte de baixo também está à mercê do time da Kabum. Inclusive,
yeah, Kaboom's playing really measured today.
Muito perigoso, pode ser.
I think they just had that one mistake in game 1, and their game 2 was clean. This game 3 is clean. It is stifling. They are just better, and they know it, and they are not limit testing. Oh, they take the inhibitor turret up top too. They just fall back, take dragon, reset, and then push up, final push topside. You've got super streaming in both lanes. Loud are just, yeah. Man, it's not even like Loud are misplaying anything in the mid or late game right now. It's literally just the early game getting stomped and then Kaboom plays it clean.
Foi até checar para ver se eles já estavam realizando esse buff, ainda não, mas tá aí, a Jinx agora com o Gumi, tá partindo pro seu
I mean, look at this, 3-13. That is one-sided as all hell. And two of those deaths were onto Batao. Technically, Crosshair has 2 deaths, but one was an execute. That first death was an execute, which is also kind of crazy. Yeah, okay, Mountain Soul picked up. Item, power spikes. I mean, we already hit the power spikes, to be honest. They're just dotting their I's, crossing their T's on that base, spending a bit more gold. And we are pushing in with the super minions, interestingly enough. Okay. I would have thought we'd see a like 5-man or 4-man siege up top. And then, yeah. Just trying to go from there. Because you've got supers pushing in elsewhere anyways. And once you take this inhib down, you get double supers. And literally, double supers is actually incredibly obnoxious, especially if you can pick up Baron buff with it. Oh, Skuro! That's a huge problem. That's super funny, actually. Skuro needs to be healing up. Yeah.
Aí o Skuro teve que gastar o seu purificar, o Santi tava realmente causando muito
Life still got severely nerfed. I remember like a year ago, maybe, like you'd be able to heal up to full health.
A
Or
equipe da Loud
like
foi
80%
sem
at least off the
alguns
camp.
feitiços e sem algumas ultimates também. A gente viu uma boa pedrada do George pra cima do Kurt. Petão agora sem ninguém pra segurar, ele vai levar esse
Now
bot
it's
sim. Só que o
significantly
escuro
slower.
volta
I mean,
pra
you're
esse passo
still
à
healthy
frente.
enough now.
Agora já
You're
temos
80%
flash
of
gasto
that
do
wave in one
Crashiel.
camp.
Situação no limite do limite aqui dentro
Yeah,
dessa
three
partida.
item jinx came through, so Sant is obnoxious.
Annie
Annie as well now is the void staff. Remember saying once you get the pin items, then the mountain doesn't feel like insurmountable. The problem is just there's such a massive disadvantage. In about what 45 seconds, the double minion wave, the double supers are gonna hit. So even if they can hold this off, it's not gonna get much better. Okay, Curdy got caught. Curdy got skilled. I really did not like this Udyr pick for him. Not saying it's the pick that screwed Curdy, because I think Curdy also misplayed it, but just, yeah. Such low impact. Yeah. Okay. And he can't solo this. We are potentially throwing. Ah, it's fine. They still get it easy. Damn. KBM makes this very, very one-sided. Holy crap. This is crazy too. Because I'm just thinking about like the entire bracket. When was the last time we saw this one-sided series? Like Furia K-Stars, despite this 3-0 score, was not one-sided at all. Like this was actually incredibly close. Like Furia played well and was fighting each and every step of the way.
É isso, Annie. Inclusive, a gente, desde o começo da competição, a gente falou muito sobre um top 3 bem definido, que são esses
maybe Red KBM was the last time it felt this way? Because Liberty Loud was also like kind of fun. Like that went back and forth.
Com certeza, os times que começaram como favoritos e continuaram evoluindo, continuaram polindo seu desempenho.
Did something happen to Scary?
A Loud conseguiu se colocar também nesse top 4, chegar para jogar o presencial aqui com a nossa
He looks so confused. I think supposed to go over and shake hands, I think. Is that what the call is here? I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I just want to look at the numbers, the damage stats and numbers and stuff. But before I end the stream. But yeah, this is by far one of the most one-sided series we've seen all playoffs long.
Eu acho que o que fez a gente melhorar como time, eu acho que essas últimas semanas a gente veio se esforçando bastante para ser um time melhor, para ter jogos mais sólidos. A gente também teve a ajuda de toda a staff da KBM.
Vital, the series, man, this reminds me of Furia Vital, where they just like put him on a utility champion and just left him on the side lane all freaking season long. I will say his game 3 was good though. I think he made really good choices in the lane swap. And that was the biggest difference maker to me, was what Vital did, or what happened to Vital versus what happened to Curdy. And because Vital did so much better, he was actually able to apply so much more split push pressure, and Curdy was so far down that, yeah. I mean, it takes two hands to clap, right? Like Vital made right choices, Curdy made wrong choices on the lane swap. And it's just weird to me that, you know, Loud opts for the lane swap and seems to not know how to play it right. It reminds me a lot of Furia K-Stars, the way Furia opted for lane swaps and didn't seem to know how to play it. Or not Furia, Furia Loud, sorry. That was the one where Furia opted for lane swaps and didn't seem to know how to play it. And if not for that, I think Furia would have made it here instead of Loud. But Loud made it because they played the lane swaps better against Furia, but not against KBM. So GG Loud, it's still Loud's still a really good team. Again, as an academy team, I think Curdy has grown a lot. Sant and Balesha have also grown a lot. Losing to Skuro Krastiel is, to me, not at all a negative thing. Like they should be the best bot lane in academy. Mortius and Telas being able to match them is absolutely insane. So Sant and Balesha losing to them is nothing big. And also, you kind of avoided them anyway, so it's like hard to tell exactly how bad it was going to be. And they got like perma-ganked game 2. They got camped the living crap out of. Yeah, the Udyr for Curdy, I understand why you picked it. You did it for the lane swap thing. You know, it's not a bad pick, but I do feel like Curdy misplayed it quite badly and lost a lot of the advantages it was supposed to get. You ended up being so far behind. Yeah. That said, Curdy has been a good carry, and this is first split? No. Is this his first split? Yeah. No. Yes. Okay, this is his first split, so definitely think, definitely a player to watch. And I'm sure he'll grow, and he's already like a name that's sticking out to me in Academy. So not surprised at all. Annie and Hugaro did well this series in general, but they're the more experienced players, so
ele chama muito atenção, ele não
it is
foi
what
um
it is.
destaque do dia de hoje. Então a gente chega para uma Kabum que tá disputando.
And now we got Kaboom Pain in the semifinals or lower finals, if you will. This one's gonna be interesting. Tatu Scary is the matchup I'm actually super interested in. I think this could be very, very even and very, very good. I think both of them are very strong ganking junglers. Bot side, I fear that if Skuro plays the way he plays today, they smash. Mid lane is going to be the other lane I kind of want to watch. I think Dioj is the better of the two, but we shall see. I think Katz's champion pool has shown to be a little bit limited in terms of what he can really carry on. And top side, I think, is the one opportunity for Pain to kind of pop off. I think we saw that today. Curdy winning the Aatrox so hard into Bitao. Yups can do similar things. Though, to be fair, again, Bitao I think is being somewhat handicapped by what he's being picked. Like, he was just left on an island separate all game long. Nothing wrong with that. Again, Kaboom did not opt for a single lane swap. All the lane swaps came from Loud. Pain did not opt for a single lane swap against K-Stars, so I wouldn't be surprised if we just see standard lanes in the lower finals. Wow, Skuro did not do damage this game. He actually, considering all the advantages he got, did not have that much of an impact damage-wise. I'm actually curious who gets MVP this game. It might just be Dioj for what he was able to achieve. But I'm going to be honest, my eyes actually on Crossdale. I think his Nico did a lot of work. I think my MVP would be Crossdale. But I'm okay if it goes to Dioj as well.
Olha, por mais que a gente teve dois do Escuro, o Escuro jogou
I'm really liking Crossdale on these damage supports. I feel like now, of all metas, is when damage supports are actually very viable. Yeah, I am on point today. I'm matching CBLOL Academy's thoughts today. Again, don't know if that's the best thing, but Crusty Mel with the B. Love to see it. Yeah, Kaboom today, though, hella scary, dude. Like, as a Painzechi, I am actually really scared if they're playing this form into Pain Gaming Academy. I think they would just knock out Pain Gaming Academy, unfortunately. If they can keep this up. They just look terrifying right now. Their macros on point, their mechanics, which were never in question, are also absolutely on point. Yeah, and Pain, you get 1 day to prepare for this. You get to see this today, and then you're running right headfirst into it. I really hope they figure something out, especially the early mid game where Pain Gaming Academy has been struggling a little bit recently. K-Stars as well. K-Stars, I bet, are really happy that they won now because they get a bit of time to actually prepare for this Kaboom, and they'll get to see 2 rounds of this Kaboom back-to-back as well. Now, the mechanics, there's not much you can do to deal with enemy mechanics, but maybe draft-wise or something, they can try and potentially find something that works against Skuro Crossdale, because right now that bot lane is looking super scary. But yeah, early day today. Nice quick 3-0. I'm West Coast, so I'm done before noon. That's fun. Thanks for dropping by, all of y'all who did. And yeah, peace out. Tomorrow, hopefully we don't get swept. And hopefully we get a series. But for now, bye-bye.